Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is the first annual Raw Ball MLB opening day. Hashtag Stream Against Suicide fundraiser. We've been waiting for this for a long time. As you can see, we have not just the normal three suspects, but we have our guest of honor, the one and only. You know him, you love him, you watch him, you listen to him, you want to embrace him by a beer and a Permantes if he's not going to object. He is the one and only urinating tree. Thank you for joining us tonight, my friend. It is going to be a fun time. It is my White Sox against the defending world champion Astros. We are raising money tonight for hashtag 988 Lifeline, the suicide hotline. Every dime we raise tonight is going to a wonderful cause. Thank each and every one of you for joining us. It's going to be a fun night. We're just here to have fun, raise some money for a great cause, watch and talk some baseball, and whatever the hell else we decide to do. But I would be remiss if I did not give the floor first to our guest, the one and only U Tree from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Sir, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are happy to be in your presence, sir.
Oh, thank you guys for having me on again. I said, it's been a long time,
It's been a while. Been in some transition. It's been a while since we worked together.
Like about 9 months, I think, right?
More like a couple of years, but
like a year and a half. Yeah, I can see that.
Something like that. Yeah, John decided to quit podcasting and go to law school, and then I worked for another organization where I met these two yahoos up to the top of your screen, and then that organization folded, and we decided to, you know what, screw it, we're going to do our own thing. We're going to start our own podcast and YouTube stream. And we started Super Bowl Sunday, and here we are, MLB opening night. Just having fun and raising money for a cause each and every one of us believes in. Yeah, it's great to see you again, Tree.
Definitely, man. Good to see you guys too.
So, to those that may not know you, Tree, what do you do on your channel and your, multitude of facets?
Shitpost. That's really all I can say. That's the easiest way to do it. I wish I could say it was something fancy or, productive or meaningful to society.
What was the line from Mel Brooks' History of the World Part 1? I dissolve into a dispensable version, the soliloquy of experiences in life. Oh, a bullshit artist. That's pretty much what we all do, but... Yeah, Tree, we actually, Maddie was hanging out with me this last weekend. We watched several of your videos, like some of the older ones, like on the Bears, the inbreeding of the McCaskies. And
the 2017.
You paid $15 million for Mike Glennon.
And that aged well.
So fucked.
That aged well. A lot of your content tends to age very well, Tree.
Some of it ages poorly, though, so you have to
we also watched the entire Days of Our Steelers soap opera, the 2-hour. I know, it's painful.
I've always wanted to ask, how did that start?
How did it start? It started with a tweet by Antonio, or like a quote by Antonio Brown says the media pays too much attention to him. Like the year before, there was a lot of drama. Juju Smith-Schuster and his bike, Martavis Bryant with Juju. There was other drama and infighting, a lot of like bickering and like talking smack about Jacksonville. Yeah, him too. But the thing is, that was the thing that took it over the edge. I'm just sitting there thinking like, the media gives him too much attention yet. Antonio Brown was off here like going off in a private helicopter, like introducing the camp. I'm like, this team is a soap opera. And then it says, wait a minute. And then it says, that's it, Days of Our Steelers. And then I just wrote a tweet and I didn't expect anything of it. But the first time was just, a gag, a one-off. And then Le'Veon Bell had the holdout and then it just kept rolling into something. Going. And I'm just like, please stop. By week 16,
arguably your magnum opus at this. I still think your magnum opus at this point is the series on the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
With their, I think so far, I think that's your best work. But the Days of Our Steelers, because it was sort of a week-to-week thing versus the Maple Leaf series, which was a whole hour, just great dive into, their owner was such a schmuck.
He was bad, dude.
Cap, do I have Dylan Cease since he has a sexy mustache?
Well, to update our fans who didn't join in for our draft live cast, Matty pretty much went with the Japanese mustache strategy. He drafted guys who had great mustaches or were Japanese born. I do not know if you have Dylan Cease. I'm not that high on him personally, even though I'm a White Sox fan. But
I can tell you, Devin's kicking my ass in fantasy, right? And here is number 4. Well, number 5. It is Grossi.
It's this guy. I was just doing a show with this guy.
Right.
What's going on, folks? How we doing?
It's going great, Tom. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, man. We appreciate your dedication to this cause.
Of course.
It's a pleasure to have you. I've worked with Tree several times. It's the first time having you on. Yeah, we're looking forward to the NFL draft preview in about a month. Thank you so much for joining us, man. You have kept our spring just with all of your Aaron Rodgers content. We have just been cracking the fuck up.
Listen, it is painful and it's torture, but it's content. Content. So
it must be tough being a Packer fan because not only are you getting kicked in the balls, but you also have your ass deep in snow.
Thankfully, living in New York, it's not that bad, but eventually, yes, it is going to be a snowrific event. So it's going to be a time.
So we're covering a good portion of the Midwest to the Upper East Coast right now.
Yes.
We got Tree in Pitt. We got Grossi in New York. We got me in Arkansas. We got you guys in just outside of Denver.
Oh, not bad.
Why do we not have Perna here? We should have Perna.
Exactly. Just get one point in Perna.
You're like, Perna, you're just going to stalk him. Just go up to his window, be like, hey, Perna.
Unfortunately, me and Perna, we share a lot of very mental things when it comes to the Broncos, so this might just divulge into us crying about Denver for a couple hours.
You guys don't have a pick until what, the 3rd round?
Whatever.
Hey, you got Nick Bolton last year. He was good. He was solid. So that was a good first pick.
Grossi.
Hoping we trade at least Cortland Sutton and get a 2nd rounder.
Nope. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get a 2nd for Cortland. They want too much for Judy too. So
yeah. Grossi, how much longer does this Packer thing and with Rodgers and the Jets go on, man? This is just becoming. I mean, what?
Tell me, buddy, what is it? Is it too long? Is it preventing people from going on vacation? Is it preventing people from living their lives? Yeah, no.
Yes. In certain cases, possibly.
It's all of those things. Honestly, the problem was, and I had a feel as soon as he said he was going on McAfee, I was just like, crap, it's not done. He's going to tell people he wants to go to the Jets, and that's exactly what he did. And then he's like, now I'm done. It's out of my hands. So the problem is you have Jets fans who are blaming the Packers, and then you have the Packers who are also kind of blaming the Packers fans, but they're also blaming the Jets too, because it's a weird situation because obviously you don't know how long he's going to play. Plus, he's going to be owed $60 million, which is a lot of money this year. That's a lot of money because the contract that the Packers gave him was not a team-friendly deal, at all.
I'll take it.
There we go. But yeah, so I think it'll be done before the draft. I think within the next couple of weeks is likely because I know people will go around and say, oh, well, if they trade him post June 1st, they get to save some cap for this year. But the Packers, I'm going to put this nicely, they don't care about this year. What I mean is, you had Matt LaFleur talking and saying, we got to lower our expectations a little bit and, change some things up. But in my mind, the way that I'm approaching this year is I'm not expecting playoffs. If we do, fantastic, but I'm not expecting playoffs. Is Jordan Love your guy? And if the answer is yes, great. Full speed ahead next year where it's a little bit easier and you won't have the albatross of an Aaron Rodgers contract to deal with. You'll still be paying a lot of money to a lot of people because we kicked the can down the road. But we'll do this. This year is kind of our test year. And if Love is not the answer, well, then you draft a QB. But I think they're going to give him at least 2.
What would you, if you were a betting man, what would you say the odds are come opening weekend we see Aaron Rodgers back in a Pack uniform?
0.
Zero.
It's not even 1%. It is.
He's either retiring or he's playing for the Jets.
It's all the way zero. And the Jets trade, I think the Jets have made it very clear. Like they even said, they're like, we're not going after Lamar. Like they are very set of like Aaron Rodgers is our guy. They signed Alan Lazard, which listen,
looks like the Colts are going to get Lamar.
Yeah. Then they're probably going to give up a lot and pay up.
Sorry, Dev. You missed the show on Monday, so you got to miss all of the wonderful. Dev's a Raven fan, and he's just been dreading this Lamar thing for all spring. And we were like, it's happening.
Hey, but at least you have a Pro Bowl QB sitting behind Lamar Jackson because they gave it to Tyler Huntley. They're like, crap, we need to fill a spot.
Don't make me not anymore.
Get it on in there. That's fine.
Is that freaking Wahlberg? God damn, it's Wahlberg. What the fuck is he doing in Houston?
Is that Goldberg's brother?
Probably open up a new chain of Wahlburgers. I don't know.
It's Gilberg's.
So, Grossi, Tree, how long have you guys known each other?
Since 2020, I think, right? That's when we first met.
I think so. When did I reach out and throw money at you to?
It was like it was April 2020.
Okay, so
I
it was
remember
April
that. It was during the
2020.
pandemic.
Yeah. Tree was hot shit, and I was just like, and Perna was doing it, and I was just like, damn, you know what? That'd be pretty cool. Because Tree and I, like, we knew of each other, but like we just never really,
we never really talked
on the internet.
As I said, like I usually like do a favor because Perna had done it before. I'm like, just give me like a couple bucks and just say like pass it. And like I usually do like a discount. And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I like your product. Let's do it.
Yeah, so that was good. And I remember too because you followed up after that, and it was just like. Yeah, how many subs you guys? I think I got like 1,000 subs, and I was like, I'm happy, like we're good. And then we started doing a show together, like less than a year later.
That's like how I asked Brandon the same question, and he did well with it. So
usually like to ask. Good investment.
Yeah,
but and then Tree's come to my. Tree has been the only. Yeah, he's the only clickbait member that I've met.
Yeah, which is surprising. Well, I thought you'd have met Perna by now.
Yeah, well, I was supposed to, and then
Perna can't dig his ass out of the snow.
His kid got sick, and it was
where in Colorado is Perna? Is it like the Denver area or upper in the mountains?
I think no, he's around the Denver area.
Okay, so roughly around the same area, so we get about the same shit.
Yeah, exactly. So
I went to a concert at Red Rocks wearing my Raider hat, and I caught shit from Broncos fans. And Tim Anderson grounds out to first. Fuck.
Can Broncos fans even say anything at this point? Like, I mean that with all the love of my heart, but like,
I mean, they let Russ cook, so you know.
Oh, they let him cook. He just burnt down the kitchen. It's fine.
And now they're expecting him to cook. Like, if the rumors are we want to get rid of Judy and Sutton, who's he going to throw to?
I don't think that they're going to.
There's a couple from the rec center. It's all right. It's some celery and bell pepper he can throw to.
They demand too much for him.
I don't think I. I was reading. I didn't read. Oh, okay. Here we go. All right, I could do this. You wanted a screenshot of donos?
Absolutely.
Oh, all right. We gotta do. Oh god, I gotta do so much work now. Oh god.
Yeah, work. Right?
If anything, just tell us how much you donated, so that way I can update the charity goal.
Oh, $250.
Not bad.
What's the goal?
Tommy, thank you so much.
What said the goal was? So we hit the goal.
Rossi,
we did it. We did it. We're done.
Yeah, good job.
We did it.
Did you
really
donate $250?
Yeah. Who's
I can vouch for him. He does this pretty regularly, so I believe it.
Tommy, thank you. God damn, man.
I'm going to take off my address if that's cool.
Oh yeah, no, you can make it anonymous.
Honestly, I've had things sent to my house before. Wouldn't be the first time.
Holy shit.
Weird stuff.
Tommy, thank you so much, man.
Wow. Thanks for
I remember the first time I ever watched one of Tree's live streams, and I donated a hundo just for the sheer fuck of it. And damn, I'm speechless, and that's rarely happens to me. Tommy,
blown away.
Whose email am I sending it to?
Just rawballpod@gmail.
Yeah,
better upgrade that total, boys.
Got it.
Oh,
got it.
So 2-2 count to Luis.
What are we watching? I don't even know.
Opening day baseball on ESPN.
White Sox and Astros. Oh, and he dinged that one off the glove.
All right, raw ball pod. Got it.
I'm a touch
Got
ahead
it.
of you.
Cap, I
Got
have a
it.
question. For
What was that, D?
in our fantasy thing, how does that work?
When what?
Like when you want to pick up someone and it says budget available, tiebreaker order, 5 out of 9.
You put in a bid on a player, and then the next day, oh, he beat it! He beat it! Robert beat it. We got a man on. Yeah, you put in a bid, and then the bids process every day at 9 a.m. Central Time, so 8 a.m. your time.
It's
I love this camera. Look at this new camera. Is that like ump camera?
Ball goes hit by bat.
Are they challenging? I hope they're not. Yeah, he was safe.
Yeah, he's safe. I'll be right back, boys.
No worries.
Right. Take care, Tree.
What's going on with this pupper in the background?
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah, Miss Maggie.
That's my 80-pound American boxer, Maggie. She digs hanging out with Daddy upstairs when I'm doing shit like this.
My 80-pound pit bull literally is probably at the door right now. He like doesn't let me straight.
Yes. Bring all the dogs.
But all the dogs, all the puppers.
So apart from A-Raj, and there's a fly out, so we got 2 outs with a man on first. Grossi, apart from A-Raj, Jordan Love is this, because we know we had Rogers who filled in for Favre and became like the guy.
Yeah.
What's the scuttlebutt within Pack community? Is Jordan the guy? Do they think he's what's the buzz on him? Because I haven't heard much.
No, and so like I will be very honest with you, it's a complete unknown. It is, if anyone goes like, "Yup, he's going to be a stud" or "He's going to be a bust," nobody knows. Now, here's the thing.
And that's the 3rd out, and we go to the bottom of the 1st. Go ahead, Gross.
He's had a very weird career thus far, right? Because he's drafted in 2020. There's no preseason games for us to even see him in because it's canceled from COVID, right? So like, there's no preseason game for him to play in. So we don't see anything in him in his rookie year. 2021, he plays, Rodgers wins the MVP in 2020. So like, we're not going to see Love again. So Love winds up getting hurt for one of the preseason games. So doesn't even like play all of the preseason games, because that's when Benkert wound up filling in for him against the Jets. So you saw like a little bit of him. And I'll be very honest, I've talked about this on the pod. Stuff of like, what people were saying about Jordan Love, people who were tied to the franchise, who have seen him and probably told people who they shouldn't told, said he looked terrible. In 2021, they were like, it's bad. Like
that's what I've heard.
It's real, real bad. Now, as time went on, like, so then Aaron Rodgers like wins MVP again. And this is like the constant narrative, right? That the Packers should have just traded Aaron Rodgers last year. Jordan Love was not ready because everything that I heard about him did not look good. And he's not.
I get to hear a positive thing about him.
So it wasn't good. And you just had Aaron Rodgers win MVP again. Could you have gotten a haul for him? Sure. But if you're Brian Gutekunst, like, are you going to be the guy that trades away like a back-to-back MVP right now and go to a guy who you do not think is ready? Like, even the organization was very wishy-washy about him. And then things changed. So he played this preseason. He looked better. You saw some flashes. There started to be like less negative talk about it. And then he came in for the Eagles game and he played pretty well. Now, granted, I think he like threw like 6 times or something. It wasn't like a lot, but he played pretty well. He looked more confident. He was kind of just letting it go, and he was getting the ball out quick. So there's kind of just, it started off with a lot of negativity, and then you saw some flashes. And so now we're just at the same place where it's like, okay, he could be good. Because we also have to remember too, like, he was drafted in the 1st round for a reason. Like, it wasn't like a massive swing. Like, there was talks in the beginning that Jordan Love would go in like the top 10. It was definitely possible. So I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility that he does suck. I also think that he could be good. And the way that I've always phrased it was, he has now sat for 3 years behind one of the greatest quarterbacks.
Same as Rodgers did behind Favre.
Exactly. So if he's not good, it's not going to be because like the Packers rushed him into things. It's going to be just because he's not. And it's gonna, I'm sure there's going to be growing pains and it's going to take time. But the fact that they still have David Bakhtiari protecting his blind side, they still have Aaron Jones back there, and of course with AJ Dillon, it's going to help a lot. Jordan has a lot of friends on the squad because like Josiah DeGuara, who's basically our only tight end on the squad right now besides Tyler Davis, he's really good friends with him. AJ Dillon's really good friends with him. And so you might see
AJ Dillon, the best quads in the NFL.
Well,
His quads are as big around as my torso.
We got Packers fan 56. Sup, y'all? What's your early World Series predictions for this season?
I'm going to go, I would say Astros versus Mets, but that's just me.
Well, I alluded to this on our Monday show because I've always thought the Mets were good, but now they picked up my two least favorite players in baseball, Scherzer and Verlander, so they're probably going to get there. I would say Mets and Dodgers because the Padres, as Tree has pointed out many times in his content, champions of the offseason, but they just find ways to the pony.
Oh, it's like the Chargers. They win every offseason.
Chargers, Padres, they kind of do have a symbiotic relationship in that aspect. So Grassi, let's say, and Tree, I want you to weigh in on this too. Let's say this trade eventually goes through. We get another month for the draft. The Jets give up whatever. Aaron Rodgers becomes a New York Jet. What does that team do, even with Aaron Rodgers? Granted, they showed improvement last year, but is he instantly going to be – is he good enough at this point to instantly elevate them to World Series or to Super Bowl level?
Go to the World Series. I think they become Super Bowl contenders. Like, not even trying to be like clickbait. Like, I legitimately think that they're Super Bowl contenders. The reason being is because their defense is that good. Their defense is really good.
Their defense is good.
Their defense is really, really good. They have Garrett Wilson, who was Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know if
they got Lazard, who Aaron loves.
At least that that comfortability that's there. But the big thing is getting Breece Hall back. If Breece Hall comes back, AVT coming back because their offensive line did not look good after AVT went down. So if they're able to, they're probably going to spend a little bit more on the offensive line. Their receivers, it's going to probably take a little bit just to kind of get that chemistry. But no,
obviously.
I do think that even in that division, which could be a tough division because you still have the Bills. I think the Dolphins will be better as long as Tua stays healthy. I think that, they become they're definitely playoffs, but depending on how quick it takes Rodgers to acclimate to it, they should be good. Because I got to be very honest, Rodgers had a down year last year, but he was playing with a broken thumb since week 5. Like, so, like, there's that, there's a lot of it. The offensive line was getting injured. It's brand new receivers. And listen, there's brand new receivers here. That's why I said there's definitely going to be some chemistry that's going to need to be there. But don't be surprised if they are similar to the Buccaneers, in which, like, I don't think they'll lose as much. But that year they went on the Super Bowl run where, like, it took a while. Like, the first week they got their ass kicked by the Saints.
Yeah.
And then, like, it took them a while. Then they had their bye week, which was late. And then they didn't lose another game. I can see them getting hot later on in the year.
I can see that too. Them pulling a Buccaneers like that. And again, the wild card in that division is New England because you just never know with Uncle Billy.
If they get, dude, I hope they get Lamar. That'd be hysterical. The East would be amazing.
Wouldn't you love that? Seeing Lamar in that beautiful red, white, and blue.
I would hate that.
I'm going to take you to the promised land.
One of my close friends is a Patriots fan, and he'll never let me live that one down.
That's perfect.
So, Tree, to weigh in on Grassi's point, he says with Rodgers, the Jets become Super Bowl contenders. What's your take on Rodgers becomes a Jet? He has the defense, the weapons. What is your take on the Jets with Rodgers?
We've seen this movie before with Brett Favre. You have to remember when they got him in 2008.
Not the dick pics, just
they had the weapons, they had the offensive line, they had the defense, they had all the tools to make them successful, and it just never panned out. And I'm kind of getting that same vibe with this because if you remember, Aaron Rodgers in a lot of his games, he was missing a ton of throws, miscommunication, overthrows. He was just whiffing on a lot. And I'm like, this is your MVP? Like maybe a couple of years ago, he would have been the turn of the tide. I just don't know if it's going to do much, especially if you have to give up, say, what the Packers are looking for with first round pick plus or 2 first round picks.
I think they're going to get 2 seconds, maybe. I think that's the max.
As I said,
that was actually my next question, Grassi, because I've watched your content. I've been looking at things. What are the Jets? What's the deal? Like, what's the? I know it's draft picks, but obviously, where are we on this?
Like, there could be, but I think if there's a player, I think it was a Jermaine Johnson. Like, that's a guy who's floated out there a lot because the Packers could use a little bit more help on defense. We always can. But I think the 13th pick is not going to happen. And the only reason, because here's the thing, if this happened last year, you're looking at 3 first-round picks. Easy.
Yes.
And it's not even a question.
Without question.
Not even a question. But because you don't know how long he's going to play, he costs $60 million. There's no way that he is going to get that. Like, he's not going to get that kind of It's similar to like Lamar, right? Lamar, if he winds up getting traded, will get 2 first-round picks. And it's just because of the franchise tag. Because like they're going to have to pay him a ton of money, and that's why it's a lot for a team to go in on him for. But I will say,
that's the end of the first.
I was leaning first round pick, and then like a conditional like next year. I could see any combination of like the 2 second-round picks maybe that they got, and then a conditional pick if he plays in like 2024. I could see something like that. And that could have an escalator. It could be like a 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Who knows? It depends on how well he plays or if he plays, etc.
So while we still have you, Tom, I do know that you are a bit of a wrestling fan.
Yes.
What was it like seeing Sammy in Montreal?
Oh my God, that dude. Here's the thing. I like Cody Rhodes, and I think that the WWE is the absolute perfect place for him because, how do I put this? He still believes in wrestling. And what I mean by that is like, he is the guy of like, it's still real to me, damn it. Like when he is going, I think it was after the Rumble, and he's trying whatever shitty Mountain Dew there is. And he's just like, I can't tell a lie because it's their sponsor. And he's like, this is delicious. Go
we were at the Rumble. It was awesome seeing him win.
Logan Paul's show too.
Yeah, he's a company man. Like, he literally is a diehard company man. He wants to win the belt. And like, that's what he's like dream is, right? So I like that. However, and I think he's doing it well. He's getting pops all over, regardless of what the internet says. Like, he is getting massively over.
Yes.
Selling a ton of tickets in Denver, right? Didn't they just have a show and they did like 9,000?
I was about to say, it was a massive event in Denver.
Like, there was no one else on it but Cody. So like, he is moving the meter. He 100% is. He's a smart investment. But I do wish because I feel like they could do that story anytime. I do wish they did Kevin Owens in Montreal, then it concludes with Sammy at Mania, just because the story was that good. Okay. It was just so good. But it is what it is.
We also have to consider Vince came back in and put his grubby little paws on things, and we still don't know exactly what's going on there.
Like, I will say it is a stacked Mania. Like, it's a good, like, besides like Lesnar and Omos, which I do not care about, but like,
I don't think anybody
does. I could give 2 shits about Brock Lesnar at this point.
You know what's so interesting? And this is honestly, if there's one thing I'm going to pick at that I'm really disappointed in, it's the build-up for the Asuka match, because there was like 0. Because Bianca Belair and Asuka, like, they're going to put on a show. If
they can steal the show.
If they're given 20 minutes, like, they could put on like the match of the night. But there's been no, like, they did what? Like a video package for them on Monday? Like, there was no build whatsoever. But I don't know. That's a little disappointing, but I think it's going to be a good one. You know, we'll see if Dwayne shows up, if they still want to roll with that for 40, but who knows?
Now, have either of you seen what we have called the needle dick incident?
No, I have not.
I don't think so.
It was a... if you look up XPW on Twitter, you're going to hate yourself. Yeah, okay. No. So I brought that up because, Tom, I know you were a wrestling fan. I don't know if you saw that atrocity of air quotes pro wrestling, but we got some fans of Tom in here.
It's probably from the retweet. Yeah, listen,
Found you.
I can't hide on the internet.
Oh, of course not. You point somewhere elsewhere, it's your celebrity. People follow.
Dude, I didn't see last night's AEW. But the Dynamite last week, that main event, Omega and Vikingo was amazing. Like that was
Vikingo is awesome.
Yeah, Cap just became a big Vikingo fan.
Oh my god, Omega is just like he's so effing good. Like I know that he would be like neutered and so, but if Triple H is there, we'll see if the company gets sold and all that stuff.
We're gonna have some heat, Grossi, because Omega and the Bucks are like the. I absolutely despise their existence. But continue.
Here's the thing: I appreciate them as wrestlers because I've also seen like the Bucks usually get like criticized for being flippy and just like doing that, but they've also put on some really good matches in AEW.
Ooh, Vikingo versus Blake Christian tonight on Ring of Honor.
There you go. But yeah, no, Omega, like he is just a wrestler. Like I can't wait for Danielson and him to go at it again. Like I was there when they first went at it because I was at Grand Slam.
Oh,
nice.
It was effing awesome. So
wrestlers go slam.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. I do wish that there was like Forbidden Door was really a Forbidden Door because I know it definitely got neutered last year because like everybody was injured, but I will say I'm really looking forward. Like I really hope that there's more.
Oh no!
Like working together.
Yep, all the raids, man.
Look at that. That's the thing. It's literally my Discord. I didn't even send them. It's just my Discord. It's the Discord. Yep. There you go.
That's awesome. Thank you guys so much.
They feed like piranha.
But are you at all a wrestling fan, or did you have any wrestling fandom when you were growing up? Hello?
Tree.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
So you like the wrestling
fan? Sorry, I was looking up news. I just found out E3 got canceled this year.
E3 got canceled?
Yeah, I just saw it got canceled a few hours ago.
Yeah.
It no longer has the appeal, but it's just like it's all fan base. Like it used to be the big event. That's why I got distracted. But I was a big wrestling fan growing up, like Attitude Era, WCW. Yeah. My favorite wrestler was Goldberg, and what turned me on?
Goldberg.
No, Tree. No, Tree.
Yes. Yeah.
The man called Gorg.
Listen, it is a guilty pleasure movie, is Crazy Stupid Love. It's a great movie. It's Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell in it. And Ryan Gosling goes up to Steve Carell and he goes, "Be better than the Gap. Tree, be better than Goldberg."
So, would you rather have Goldberg or David Arquette as your champion?
Neither. No. There's more options. There's so many more options.
Of course, but like ladder WCW, that was
dude. Yeah, listen,
rough.
He was a spectacle. He really was. He was
exactly.
A spectacle. It's just
97, 98 Goldberg was a draw. 99 to 2001.
As I said, I saw 97, 98. Like 10-year-old me, it's like, wow, I want to be this guy. Like he's just spearing people and jackhammering people and just making weird faces.
Now he just
I'm like, man, I want to be that guy.
Goldberg, he wasn't the Ultimate Warrior. He cared about the business. He worked. He tried. He got better as he went along. Not good enough because he injured Bret Hart and ended that illustrious career. I don't hate Goldberg as much as I hate the Ultimate Warrior, Sable, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks.
They're in the same breath. Come on, Kenny's not that bad. Like listen, but are you talking about from a wrestling standpoint, or are you talking about like everything?
I'm talking about from a standpoint of an old school guy who likes pro wrestling and doesn't like wrestling artists. Appreciates guys like CM Punk, Terry Funk, Roddy Piper, Bret Hart, Steve Austin.
Hold on. Time out. Bret Hart's my favorite wrestler of all time. Bret Hart is my favorite wrestler. Easy.
Okay, now we have some common ground.
Yes, Bret Hart. I literally have his biography upstairs. Got it when I was a kid. 100%. You can't tell me that Kenny Omega in New Japan Pro Wrestling is not like a phenomenal worker. You can't tell me that. Like the dude,
if he had the right dance partner, rather than if he had Okada rather than a blow up doll or a 9-year-old girl.
That wasn't New Japan.
I'm just saying the guy can work. He can work. Like he.
Omega can have a good match with the right dance partner.
Okay, so now here's the thing. I loved CM Punk. Loved CM Punk. I have his like old shirts. They're upstairs still. I got him. When he came back, definitely lost a step or two.
Yes, but I was still in tears.
I was all about it, dude. Like I still have that Rampage taped on my DVR. Like I still got it there.
Ditto.
Like, that first pay-per-view was honestly one of the greatest pay-per-views I've ever seen. Like
him and Darby.
That was the first AEW pay-per-view I ever ordered. The main event was okay, but like it was phenomenal. Like it was truly one of the greatest one. You got Danielson comes out at the end, Adam Cole comes out at the end, what have you. But I do think a bit of the business has passed him by. And what I mean by that is because back then, CM Punk was arguably him and Daniel Bryan is what he was called back in WWE. They were like the two best wrestlers on the roster back then. Like when you had like the summer of Punk.
Absolutely.
Triple H screwed it all up, and good God, you know what wrestler I really hate? I hate Alberto Del Rio. So I was thinking about him today.
Yes, me too.
So much. I just like there are not many wrestlers I hate. I hate him regardless.
If you are looking for the
donations in the description,
it's in the description and it's going along our ticker as well. It is the 988lifeline.org/donate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
yes.
Tree, how much did you say you donated?
Oh, I actually just donated 300.
Oh, you dick. Oh, you course.
Holy
shit!
Tom Brossi donated 250, so now I got to donate 300 because 3 rhymes with tree. I'm urinating 3 now. All right.
Yes, I'm hilarious. Yeah. Donate another 50. Come on. Go.
You know what? The posse donations count.
Okay. Hey,
if the posse will let us know in the comments when and how much they donate, this goal is raising.
This counts.
Already raised it. We're already.
I
did it.
We're double what we wanted.
I'm not quite in tears yet, but I cannot thank you guys.
No, don't worry about it, brother.
This is a cause that is.
I told you I wanted to put some money in the kettle. Don't worry.
Well, you said a little.
One of these days, I'm going to catch a flight out to Pittsburgh, and you and I are going to get fucking hammered and on my dime.
Well, hey, next year's Mania's in Pennsylvania, Philly.
Dude, legit, I might go to that. If I'm still around, I would totally go to Philly.
Should the 5 of us meet up in Philly and just brave the odds and go to Mania together?
It's important, too. Like, it's a big one. Like, that's a big one.
But it's Philly. I mean, we're talking about like EDP territory. We're talking about, just the land
EDP
of.
EDP is actually not Philly. It's based out of California.
Oh, there you go. California can claim him.
Yeah, let California claim that piece of shit.
But gang, I do have to run because I have to run and actually make
Tom,
food.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Brother.
We'll see you on the draft prediction show. Thank you so much, Tom. It means the world, brother. Thank you so much.
Guys,
Thank
good
you.
luck with the rest of the stream.
Posse as well.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Later, guys. Tree, I'll see you next
I'll see you around.
I just love that. He's like, Tree, I'll see your ass later.
Pretty much. That's how we roll. It's like, yeah, I'll see you Thursday.
I saw you guys are updating how you guys are doing clickbait. I'm actually really excited for that.
We had our debut this past about an hour ago. I literally finished. I had dinner and then I started this. So we had a bit of a different format. It's kind of really the same thing, but we're just trying to pretend it's different. So we had the first segment's just pure clickbait. We talk about what we're doing in life, like basic stuff in the NFL. Then we had an interview. We interviewed Theo Ash, a TikTok creator. So we did him this week. It was a good interview. Mainly talked about his rise to power, best moments, worst moments. He was in Radio Row in the Super Bowl, so he told us a little about that. I wish I could have told him what his best interview was, but we were running out of time. And then we played a little game, the dating game. Scooter was choosing to date between the 3 of us. I was Dan Campbell.
MCDC.
Yeah. Brandon was Jerry Jones. And
or Scooter.
And 5 points was a bear who was a fan of the Chicago Bears. And it was just 5 minutes of sheer awkwardness because Scooter could not get like what he was.
Oh, I love improv so much. That's hilarious.
Go and watch it when you have a second, man.
I was about to say, once we're done here, I'm probably watching the whole episode. So
it's something. A little out there, but it's.
Oh, again, I cannot thank the people that rated and just you, Tree, Tom, and everybody that joined us. In less than an hour, we have murdered the goal.
I was hoping for somewhere around 500 to 1,000. That was my hope, but at this point in the night, we may very well get that because my brother hasn't gotten on yet. He's still putting the kids to bed. It's
let's throw this up real quick because I did make it. Thank you, Tom.
Yes.
For coming on.
Thank you, Tom. So looks like it is still 0-0 in our opening night matchup between my White Sox and the Astros.
Cease has been on fire. He's been striking people out.
Cease has got the strikeout, but my worry about him is that he's going to crap out because you can't live on velocity forever.
Wow. And it just keeps on. That's
$700
in less than an hour.
There you go. Keep that shit up.
Hey, we're only through 2 innings, so let's see what we get to here. So
you guys going the whole game?
Yeah.
We're going the whole game.
If you need to leave at any time, Tree, just let us know.
Absolutely. No rush, man. As I said, I should be good for a good bit longer, so
we appreciate the fact that you even came on. You've been so
dude. As I said, like I've been with El Capitan here for a good bit. So good company, good people.
Hey, Tree is like the most cool, awesome, chill, sweet dude on the planet, and they were like, "You're fucking kidding me. He's gonna be like some, celebrity YouTuber who's." And I'm like,
here's the thing, that's the thing. Like, we're not really we're just dudes. That's all we are. Most of us had jobs before this, and then we somehow stumbled onto this.
You were a waiter until you got into this.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
You guys
Thank you, Samantha.
You guys are going to make me cry by the end of this stream. I'm not even joking.
And trust me, Maddie and I will cry. I cried on his shoulder at the Rumble when Cody Rhodes won.
Oh, dude, I nearly cried over there in the Mario Lemieux Foundation stream I did. So,
dude, that was actually pretty phenomenal. I watched that entire thing. That was pretty awesome what you did, man.
I mean, that was a rough week, and then the day after I found out Uche died, and it's like, damn. But it is what it is.
And Uche, that was one of the things that got me into click. I started watching clickbait regularly because of Uche, and because he was just such an awesome dude. And then when yes, Foster.
Cap, do you want to give the tragic, statistic?
The tragic statistic, I'll actually pull up on my phone here. I was researching this. Let me pull this up here.
Having fun here, but all the money is going to the 988, which is the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
So essentially, a suicide occurs in the United States alone every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is a mark that...
Oscar, we love you too, brother.
Thank you.
Which is a mark that, none of us want to see. I won't spill any...
Once an hour,
Yeah, essentially once every 10 minutes in the United States, a suicide occurs. I won't spill any beans about the participants engaged herein, but I can honestly speak for myself.
Thank you.
If you want to look at my hashtag tonight, I survived 2 attempts, and mental illness is
survivors of an attempt as well.
Is a real thing.
I had ideation for a long time. I don't know if I ever attempted, but I had a plan set up. This was like 10 years ago, but
yeah, I'm a survivor of
it. It's one of those things that the reason we're doing this is because 988 has stepped up, not just as being, the suicide prevention hotline, just for a phone call, but now they are accessible via text message, via email, via website text. And I can honestly say, sitting here tonight, within the last 12 months, there have been times where I've been down on life and I have gotten in touch with them and they were there. And I may have had to wait 10, 15, 20 minutes for someone to respond. And the more people they can have on staff, the more people they can have, that's more lives saved.
And they're a non-profit organization, which is why we are raising money for them.
A suicide every 10 minutes in the United States is something that you're never going to eliminate it, but you can certainly lower it. And that's the point of what we're doing tonight, is to get them some funds to hopefully, if one life is saved by our shenanigans tonight, then our services have been not in vain. They have been well worth it.
It's like I say every show, you are somebody's reason to smile.
Exactly.
I mean, I know it from even my stuff. Like, the most surprising thing to me is always getting like the messages saying that like your shit got you through a rough day. Like, I've had people tell me they watched my shit when they were going through chemo. There was a guy we interviewed on Clickbait Sports. His name was Nate. He was Patriots correspondent at the NFL draft. He announced their first round.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then he mentioned he watched all our stuff through chemo, and I'm like, Jesus, really? Our shit has the power to do that? And I'm like, that always amazed me. Like, I'm just some dude rambling into the wind, and it brightens someone's day. It's just
true. I remember when my mother went into hospice, the last 24 hours of her life, and I was holed up in a hotel across the street from the hospital, and I was watching your shit just to cheer me up, because I know across the street my mother is breathing her last breaths, and I'm kind of here. It's just it was one of those things where we're just waiting, and I needed a laugh. I needed something to cheer my ass, just something, and I was like, well, fuck, I'll throw on Tree, because he whatever it is, he's going to make me laugh. It's. I remember actually the night of, it was the night after the day of her funeral, and I was hanging out in the hotel that night, and I was just watching you and 5 Points do whatever you and 5 Points do, because I needed a goddamn laugh, and it's like, I'm sitting here, I've got a drink. I just buried my mother. It's like, I need some laughter in my life. And it's like, well, Tree's live. I can have some fun there. It's, you provide an escape for people 24 hours a day, regardless of what's going on in their world. And, be proud of it, man. You provide a lot of comfort for a lot of people, and you may never not know it.
It's like I told Cap earlier, like, you and Tom are like YouTube sports Hall of Famers, in my opinion.
Yeah. If we were putting together a Hall of Fame, you and Grassi are going to go in and induct each other. Right. Whatever you may say about each other.
I'm not going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. Come on.
YouTube Sports Hall of Fame. You're definitely.
No. Raw Ball may start a Hall of Fame. If we, get some pickup and whatever, we may, start our own Hall of Fame.
Start the YouTube Sports Hall of Fame.
A raw ball Hall of Fame. We would definitely put Tree in there. Thank you, Miss Alora.
Team, and you guys get inducted like the NWO.
We call it the Ball of Fame.
My love, thank you. I know you can hear me in the room.
Thank you, Miss Alora. We love you,
guys. We have more than.
You might as well raise it.
Yeah, just raise it. Just raise it. You've beaten that total 3 times over. It's not a raise.
So let's do this.
You did 10,000?
No, definitely not 10,000. Let's try to hit $250 more. You guys have been absolutely incredible tonight. Not even
We
an hour
are in awe.
Not
of
even
you.
an hour in.
So, yeah, they're still on commercial at this point.
Yeah, well, I got a commercial right now. So, Tree, outlook for both your Pirates and your Steelers this year. How are we feeling?
I'm thinking the Pirates are probably going to win like 68 games. I mean, it'll be an improvement over last year, but I don't think it's going to be an incredible improvement. Just like
The Pirates are in the shits.
You guys have to be better than the Reds this year, though, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they beat the Reds earlier. So, I mean, the Reds are probably going to be 4th or 5th. Pirates will probably be 3rd or 4th. I mean, they still need a little time. Steelers are probably bullshit their way to a 9-8 record or something like that.
I was about to say, Tomlin, rain, fire, snow, that man is getting a winning season no matter what.
Right?
He is the UPS of NFL coaches.
For real.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter.
And then we already talked that Cap is a Raiders fan. I'm a Broncos fan.
I'm a Ravens.
He's a Ravens fan. So we got to get we got to get Tree on for at least one of the Ravens Steelers games.
Oh no.
I might be doing my own streams during those. That's the only.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I forgot. God, I cannot thank you and Tom enough for coming on again.
Don't worry about it, man. You're all good.
So Cap just put in a 50.
Ooh. There you go. Nothing wrong with that, man.
Pirates 58 and 104 according to Dave. So you can raise that by 50, Matthew.
I done did already, Cap.
All right. Cap's going to take a quick break and relieve some ballast. I shall be right back.
Do what you got to do. It's already the bottom of the 3rd. I mean, these games they've been trying to speed up the pace of play at the very least. Then
I was expecting to how they do basketball where the shot clock will pop up in the corner. I was expecting to see the pitch clock at all times.
They might do that for the future, but for right now, I mean, maybe there's a way to see it behind home plate.
Yeah, because I know
that'll be something for the future.
Yeah, I know some stadiums during the spring training they had it where that MLB network thing is.
MLB network, MLB TV. They probably have to do that for advertising though. So that's.
Have there been a lot of pitch clock infractions opening day yet, or not?
I don't think so. I haven't seen any, and they probably gotten the kinks out. They altered a few of the rules.
3 innings in, Dylan Cease is on his 6th strikeout.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Cease is a damn good pitcher.
Cap has
White Sox should be significantly better, but at the same time, it's just keep underachieving.
His throw, it's so short until he does his follow through. The way that his arm is right here all the way until it gets right there.
Mm-hmm. It's like with the green screen boards behind home plate, it looks like he's actually pitching in front of a green screen instead of at a mound. That's you see the pixelation, especially with his head. And I'm it's like something out of the 80s.
Dude, this don't
have a really bad green screen.
I don't trust Giolito. I don't trust Cease. I don't trust Lynn. I don't trust Kopech. I sure as shit don't trust Clevenger. I don't like our bullpen. I am just petrified
losing
that
Hendricks for a while is going to hurt. He'll probably be back, but still.
Yeah, we are the definition of mid.
Pretty much.
We're just.
You have potential, but it's never being realized. That's the problem.
Of course not, because they don't have the pitching.
The Rockies have no potential.
Oh, the Rockies, don't worry. Dick Monfort said they could be a 500 team, which in reality, they're going to win 67 games.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll be lucky if we pass 60 wins.
You'll get past 60. You're mediocre. You're you do just enough to get people to the ballpark. You're the mid-2000s Pirates. That's what you are. You just want to throw a few bucks around, pretend that you're relevant, but you're not going to be really competitive. You're just there to fill seats and just be like a statistic. That's all you are. Like you traded Arenado, and then you bring in Chris Bryant and
for peanuts. You traded Arenado.
And then brought in Bryant for fucking a bag.
Exactly. And I'm just like, why didn't you just keep Arenado? But what do I know?
It's okay. The kid that went to go take a shit is a Cards fan, so he was all happy about the Arenado trade.
Oh, of course.
Well, Arenado is arguably the greatest third baseman since the guy on my wall, Brooks Robinson, the only Hall of Famer from the state of Arkansas.
Greater than Beltre?
Oh yeah, not even a question. It's Brooks Robinson and Arenado, in my opinion, as far as the greatest third baseman of all time.
Beltre was a really good third baseman too.
He was good, but he's not Brooks or Arenado, in my opinion. Arenado and Brooks are the greatest gloves to ever play third base.
I mean, Arenado was a damn good glove.
Oh yeah. How many platinums, Cap?
I know platinums. I know he's got 9 Gold Gloves in like 10 years of playing. I mean, basically every year and Cease closes out the third. 44 pitches.
Jeremy Pena.
Oh, that was an ugly cut.
I do love this cam that they've got going. I guess that's like a GoPro on the umpire's head.
Pens versus the Devils, Canes or Bruins.
Penn's playing the Preds right now, I think.
Well, this is actually, we just went to a commercial break. This is something I wanted to ask you while we have you on, Tree. As much as you hate them, Boston, this incredible run that they are currently on.
They look really damn good. That's the problem I have.
I've never seen stats like that
really damn good, but
I haven't watched hockey in 20 years.
And the thing is, they don't even look like a 2019 Tampa Bay Lightning where they just shit the bed randomly. Like they look like a legit, fully loaded team. And it's hard. And I hate to say that, but it's what
is this Bruins team like? Is this going to be one of those all-time teams? That, I know you did your series on the Oilers, which I actually listened to last night, the boys' club. But is this Bruins team one of those teams?
I don't know. I mean, time will tell there because I think Bergeron retires after this year, regardless. Like they're pushing for that.
Ooh, wait, Bergeron is still playing?
Yep, he's playing. He was rumored to retire last year. He's playing real damn well.
Jesus.
I think he's averaging a point.
I was about to say,
they
Sid
extended
is still
Pasta
playing for
long
the Pens,
term,
right?
Yeah, he still is. I mean, Sid, Gino, Letang, they're all still playing. Like,
those guys were playing like 10, 15 years ago when I last checked on hockey.
Oh yeah, they were playing like 2006, 2007. Jumbo Joe Thornton was playing until last year, and like he doesn't have a contract, he's done. But like Chara just retired, Keith Yandel just retired, Subban just retired. Marlowe retired last year before that.
Weren't the Blues doing good earlier in the season?
They were inconsistent. That's the problem, and they've just fallen hard. Like Jordan Bennington has just it's rough.
Shat the bed.
Yep.
I remember a couple of years ago when the Blues actually won the whole thing, and it felt like a barrage. Seeing them win, it was like, yeah, I know they just won, but I didn't buy it for whatever reason.
Right.
So, Tree, looking at the
I remember the Flyers being good when they had Forsberg.
Peter Forsberg? Oh,
yes, sir.
Flyers? Yeah, it was okay there for a little bit, but now there's a guy who would have been one of the best players in the league if he hadn't been taken down by injuries. Peter Forsberg.
Yeah. Bergeron is captain. Marchand and Pat Snack is your top line.
Mm-hmm.
David, I cannot pronounce that, leads the second line.
Easy way to call it Krejci.
Krejci?
Yep.
So looking at the we did this on our Monday show, but Tree, I wanted to get your thoughts here. Looking through the MLB, through the divisions, American League East, I think it's going to be Yankees and then, Rays and maybe the Orioles, but curious as to your thoughts on the American League East.
I would say the Jays have a legit shot at it if they can overcome that choke they had in October. So I'd say Yankees, then Jays, Rays, and then Orioles and Red Sox. Red Sox could be something. I just don't like their pitching.
They
lost a lot of pieces.
AL Central, to me, it just seems like the Cleveland's division to lose.
Cleveland with the pitching. And the question, can they go farther? It depends on if they can get more of a chorus besides Ramirez, Jimenez, and Kwan.
And obviously you got the Royals and the Tigers bringing up the dead end. AL West, it seems like it's the Astros division to lose, but Seattle, I think Seattle could make it interesting. I'm not sure how interesting, but they're like you said in your retrospective of the Seattle Mariners, they're always going to kick their fans in the dick.
Yeah, they did. They didn't do it last year. I mean, well, they did it like after succeeding, but I mean, it depends. I still think it's Houston's division to lose. I think Seattle finishes second, gets a wild card, but yeah, everyone likes the LA Angels. They really think they're good at analytics and like Bakota. And,
also, Moreno decided he's not going to sell the team.
Of course not. I mean, this is Shohei's last year, no matter what.
What exactly happened there? Because I was watching that because I was thinking, oh, thank God the Angels are going to sell Moreno's going to sell. They're going to have a shot. And then Artie's like, no, I'm not selling.
Unfinished business was supposedly his claim. What probably happened was nobody wanted to sell for what he wanted. I thought he was going to sell because of like the RSN deals are kind of going tits up.
Yeah,
and
regional sports
the stadium
networks.
deal he wanted was it fell through because of political corruption.
Well, Artie Moreno and political corruption do not sound that far apart in my.
Oh, of course. Like he said, we'll give you the sweetheart deal if you give me like $1.5 million in political donations. So.
I was about to say, my joke on the last Raw Ball pod was that the Angels are going to take the entire AL.
Yeah, you did kind of make that, but
it ain't going to happen, but I'll laugh my ass off if it happens.
So NL East, Mets, Braves, Marlins, Phillies, Nationals. What the fuck do you do with this bunch of – what do you do with this cast of characters?
I don't know, man.
The Mets, God, I just do not know what to do with the NL East. That division every year is such a schmuck fest. It's like even if the Mets get out to a lead, they're going to blow it.
Yeah,
Braves and Phillies are going to be
throwing money, but like the Phillies, I don't think they're going to be big this year. I think last year was a flash in the pan. Plus, losing Rhys Hoskins is going to be tough. They do get
Harper not even being.
The question is, what's your pitching depth and your bullpen? Those are your big questions with the Phillies.
Yeah, Wheeler, Nola, and that's about it.
Well, Taijuan Walker's not bad.
He's not good.
All right, he has flashes.
And then we got. Well, you may want to screenshot this. I'm looking at it. The Pirates at the moment are in first place in the National League Central.
Better than my expectations.
Winning the World Series this year.
Right? No, yeah. Oh, trust me.
Hey, Cap.
That's my secret. Well, I mean, your White Sox have got runners on first and second, too.
Cap, I will give the introductions to you for this next guest.
All right. This is a gentleman whom I have known since my college days. I apprenticed under him. I was going to be a sports writer at one point, but, life sort of dealt its hand. This gentleman is a HOF Hall of Fame writer for the state of Oklahoma. This gentleman is the absolute best at what he does. He works for SB at this point. He is a baseball encyclopedia. He is the one, the only, the Haas. He is Buck Ringgold. He is my friend. He is the man who got me to love baseball as much as I do. Buck, Haas, it is so great to see you again.
Indeed, and likewise, it's a pleasure to see you again. That's one of the great things about modern technology, especially Zoom.
I got a lot more hair since you last saw me.
Yes. Yeah. And I pretty much got the same haircut.
You've always had the same haircut, Haas.
Same haircut. Yeah.
And by the way, let me raise a toast to our departed friend, Wild Bill.
Indeed.
I don't have a
Hopefully, at some point, Salazar will erect some kind of a monument to that man. Not that he, given the theme of this show, not that he departed in that manner, but we still miss Wild Bill. Buck, it is great to be working with you again. I haven't worked with you since maybe the last time I worked with Tree. Tree, I'll make the introduction. This is Buck Ringgold. When I was in college, I wanted to be a sports writer. I apprenticed under this man for 2 years, learning the ins and outs of sports writing, interviewing. This gentleman took me under his wing and showed me every kind of, in and out of the business. I'm doing something a little bit different now than, sitting at a typewriter, but it is.
Life works in mysterious ways, man.
here I am, YouTube.
I trust me, man. I wanted to be like a TV anchor or like a radio DJ, like when I was in college. Like I was at a cluster.
You didn't want to be Mark Madden.
Well, I kind of, but like at the same time, I didn't want to be Mark Madden. Hey, dude, Mark Madden is hot shit in Pittsburgh. People love that.
Trust me, I know.
I mean, he's very love-hate, but at the same time, I mean, he's the #1 ranked sports show, and he'll never cease to shut up about it. But it's definitely there.
So the other reason we have Buck on tonight is because this man is a living, walking, talking baseball encyclopedia.
Nice.
I cannot tell you how many nights and days on the road covering teams, sitting at his place, my place, whatever, watching baseball, and Buck just telling me stories and so many great books that he turned me on to about learning about baseball. Ball 4, Seasons in Hell. I owe a great deal of my baseball love to this man in the bottom left-hand corner, because as much as I was a baseball fan, he may be a baseball lover. So, Buck, that is why I am so happy to have you on here tonight for this wonderful cause. It's MLB opening day. I could not be happier tonight, Haas.
And the pleasure is indeed mine, Brandon. And yeah, absolutely. Glad to be on here and glad to help out.
So I told the boys, I told Maddie and Devin, hey, I'm bringing Buck on. He is a walking, talking baseball encyclopedia. Pretty much anything you want to ask this guy, he's going to know. So I'm going to start out as we're watching Cease take the mound, bottom of the 4th. It's still 0-0. You turned me on to a phenomenal book, The Bad Guys Won.
Yes.
The 1986 New York Mets.
Yeah.
For the edification of those in attendance, let's start with the 1986 New York Mets, because the story that you told me that got me to buy that book, it's phenomenal. So tell us that tale.
Well, I'm trying to remember what the story was. I'm sure it was one of several that was documented in the book. I guess maybe the opening chapter was, the night that the Mets won the National League pennant down in Houston. They were getting set to play in the World Series. And they were flying back to New York, and I guess apparently they celebrated a bit too much, and they kind of did a little bit.
You think? The 86 Mets celebrating a bit too much. Goddamn, Darryl Strawberry was on that fucking team.
As well as cocaine was involved on that flight back, but there was a lot of alcohol and things kind of got a little out of hand.
Oh, dude, there was probably so much white powder coming off of Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry during that whole flight that it probably let the chemtrail down the line of the flight.
But that just set the scene for a fantastic book. And it was written by Jeff Pearlman, who you might know. He's written several books since then. But
Yes, he has.
Used to be a long-time writer for Sports Illustrated. But that was his first book, by the way. So he's gone on to write books about Brett Favre and Walter Payton. And he did a book on Bo Jackson this past year. So he's been a prolific author. And that was his first book. And I mean, I've read some of his books since then. He's written some great books, but nothing compares to The Bad Guys Wine. That's still the best book he's ever written, and that was
the definitive.
Yeah,
I mean, I remember reading that book. I went to, if you remember, Hastings and Fort Smith before they went out of business.
Oh, Miss
I went and bought that thing used, and I devoured that SOB because it was one of the very few times when a book was recommended to me.
Yeah.
That delivered more. It was like, I was like, Haas, you're going to read this book. You're going to love it. And then I was like, oh my God.
I mean, people talk about Strawberry Gooden and all that, but there were some wild personalities on, Lenny Dykstra.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even Gary Carter, who was probably the most, I guess, straight arrow person on the team, I mean, some teammates hated him. Some, obviously hated him. So obviously, and I thought Perlman did a great job of telling about all of the players, and the manager, Dave Johnson. I thought he was very detailed in describing all of their exploits on and off the field.
Nice.
So to stay with the book theme, as Cease is still pitching to the Astros.
That was a good play.
2 outs. Nothing, bottom of the fourth. Another great book that you turned me on to that made me a big baseball fan was Seasons in Hell.
Yes.
The first 2 years of the Texas Rangers, who are your team.
Yeah.
To anyone listening, again, and there's an out, and we're going to the top of the fifth. To anyone listening,
I'm already on commercial.
Okay, so you're a little bit. So Sox have 4 hits, no runs. Seasons in Hell is one of the absolute greatest books I've ever. Forget baseball, forget sports. One of the greatest books I've ever read. The absolute turmoil that was going on when the Washington Senators moved to Arlington and became the Texas Rangers. Those first 2 seasons. Haas, Jesus, Hebrew Christ.
Well,
the hell, literally.
I was a fan back then. I was 2 years old when the events of the book started to take place. So I became a Ranger fan in 1983, which was 10 years after the 73 season, which is probably considered the worst season in Ranger history to this day.
Yeah,
but like I said, it's just. It's like The Bad Guys won, except those Rangers weren't quite as successful as those Mets. That's the only thing.
They tried an 18-year-old out of high school.
Yeah,
to start
David Clyde.
They rushed him and they ruined
the book there. Talking about David Clyde, drafting David Clyde, and rushing him like they did when really he had no business being rushed to the major league.
But wasn't that part of his rookie contract?
They needed a gate attraction. They weren't drawing, and they needed somebody to fill the stands. So
wasn't that also part of his rookie contract that he had to get fast track to the majors?
I'm not real sure, to be honest. I'm sure there was probably some, stipulations that he would get to go to the majors, on a fast track to the majors. But as far as I know, I don't think there was any stipulations in the contract. It was just more or less the owner wanted somebody, to be a drawing card for the team.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Raul Ibanez.
He's from Texas, 18 years old, just out of high school. He was just the pick. He was just the guy that they really wanted to put in there and draw fans.
And at 18 years old, you just can't expect that to happen.
Holy shit.
Now, he did win his first start. So
I'll be back. My trash can just flew away.
Oh my!
Oh,
my buddies are in Denver, so they're dealing with the wind.
Okay, well, we just had a nice little thunderstorm roll through here. So
Oh, it's going on here in Fayetteville too.
Okay,
We've been getting
okay,
a
okay.
lot of them.
So our buddy, obviously Haas, as you know, you're a baseball fan. You know our buddy here, U-Tree. He's a Pittsburgh Pirates fan. The last time I had Tree on, we actually talked about the We Are Family World Series team. Take us back in the time machine because you're a student, you're a study of the game. That World Series team, it was one of those. Again, it's sort of like the '86 Mets without the convictions. Um, that team just coming together and being something phenomenal. Um, what was that team like? You know, because you grew up in the wake of that. The We Are Family Pittsburgh Pirates.
Now, I wish that they did a book on that team. They might have a book about them in Greater Pittsburgh, but I have yet to see a book about them. But they're worthy of a nationwide book because they were just as compelling as
That was a phenomenal team.
Yeah,
I mean Stargell and Clemente alone.
Well, actually, Clemente wasn't on that team. Not he. You know, he died in '72.
Clemente was not on that. I thought that
No, not in the '79 team. No.
that's yeah. I love Clemente. I remember he passed away the season after he got his 3,000th hit in the last game.
His last at bat.
Yeah,
3,000th hit. Yeah. No.
I learned something new all the time with this guy.
Dave Parker, the Cobra. Obviously,
Yep.
Willie Stargell. I mean, those are probably the first two people that come to mind when we talk about the '79 Pirates. Those two guys.
Kent Colby.
Kent Colby. Who, if you've seen Super 70 Sports, his Twitter page, he had a tweet about Kent Colby the other day.
And it looks like Tim Anderson just got a triple.
It was like people set
with
6
two.
man alive for the fourth.
No, it was
something like that.
It was he was on first already.
So we got and we got he's caught in a pickle. He's out.
Normally, when you get caught in that pickle, you do get out.
So we got runners on first and second with one out for the White Sox.
Unless your name's Josh Harrison, you're usually out. You remember that play? Josh Harrison got out of that? It was like about 10 years ago.
I do remember that.
The guy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I remember once upon a time, we were hanging out in your apartment in Fort Smith, Buck, and it was me and James Parks. We were helping you move, and we finished doing the moving, whatever. We were just hanging out afterwards, and I asked you to tell me the story about Bill Buckner. Maddie is a huge Boston Red Sox fan, so the story about Bill Buckner and that World Series, the way you told it was just, it was phenomenal.
It was pretty much, it wasn't Buckner's fault they lost the World Series.
No, not even close.
Yeah. There was a lot of things that converged. You know, Buckner just happened to be the scapegoat, but no, it was not Buckner's fault they lost. If you remember, they turned around Game 7. The Red Sox had like a 3-run lead in Game 7, and they lost.
Yes, they did.
So you can't blame Buckner for that.
Was that the Bob Costas thing where he was getting ready to do the post game interview with the World Series winning White Sox, and they had the champagne and everything set up, and then
that was Game 6. Yeah, that was Game 6.
That was Game 6. Okay. I mean, I was watching Ken Burns baseball, and they were making that point about they had the champagne and everything set up, and then things started going south.
The scoreboard even said the scoreboard even flashed "Congratulations, Red Sox" when the Mets were still bad and were down to the last couple of outs. It was just very premature. Obviously, if they did that this day and age, social media, I mean, they would get lit up.
Speaking of the Red Sox, when did Roger Clemens become play-by-play for ESPN?
I saw that. I think it's just a one-time thing.
He did play for Houston.
Yeah, and he lives in the area. He's from
His,
around.
his attorney, actually, this is a funny kind of note to this. The same attorney that Roger Clemens has on retainer was the same attorney whom Anna Nicole Smith had on retainer during her bankruptcy trial.
So Buck,
Actually, no, it was the estate. Rusty Harden is the attorney.
Yes,
the estate of what's his name had him on retainer, so he got to cross-examine. Yeah. So yeah, leave it to Clemens to and Framber Valdez. I guess as well as Cease is pitching, Framber Valdez just put a 95-mile-an-hour heater for a strikeout.
That was a nice pitch
Against Luis, is that Robert or Jimenez?
So, Buck, are you a wrestling fan at all?
Yes, he is.
I'm not. I guess I'm not really a contemporary wrestling fan. You know, I was a wrestling fan more in the 80s and 90s. I'm not as much.
To give you some context, Maddie, we brought Buck on in the Wrestle Vault episode when we covered the Von Erichs.
Okay.
Because Buck was just getting started as a sports writer around the time the Von Erichs were still dominating Dallas. Was it 87, 88 when you got started in Ville Platte? Or
actually, 94.
Kilgore. So you were coming up in the wake of the Von Erichs.
I know, like the oldest one had died.
I just missed that era of Texas wrestling because that went by the wayside in like 91, 92.
Because Dallas folded, then Bosch and Houston folded, and you had the Funks and Emerald. They folded in the early 80s, and you were coming up in the wake of that. Yeah. But the Von Erichs were still gods in the Dallas, in that era, in that area.
Right. And, unfortunately, they had those, the tragedies, that several, Kevin's the only one that's still alive. And
he is still alive?
Oh, yeah.
Kevin is still alive, yeah.
Kevin just asked that, and I was trying to look it up.
I think a couple of their kids are wrestling, but for the most part,
you are right, Tree, because they're in the MLW, and they're fucking killing it.
Yeah, Lacey Von Erich, I think, was.
Lacey's another one, but she wasn't the best. But the two Von Erich boys are phenomenal tag team wrestlers.
Just gotta walk.
You said that was 1994, you said, Buck?
Bases loaded, 2 outs.
Okay, so because you worked in Louisiana, you worked in Texas, what was the shadow of Mid-South wrestling like? Because Watts had essentially folded by that point, but you still had, that aura of Mid-South when you had Junkyard Dog, you had Ted DiBiase, the Midnight Express. You worked in Ville Platte, you worked in Kilgore. Was there still an era, an aura of that going on?
Not really. I think it kind of faded by then. I mean, Mid-South was really popular in the early 80s, like 80.
Absolutely.
80. I mean, that was the peak era. So really, I mean, and I was down there more than 10 years. And Shreveport was like the home base for Mid-South.
Yes.
For many years. So
Shreveport, Alexandria, New Orleans, that Von Erichs, Freebirds, Brody.
When I was living down there.
Well, I remember once upon a time, we've got bases loaded here, top of the fifth. Valdez is in a touchy spot here. It was actually Buck who educated me because there's the third out. It was Buck who actually educated me as to Percy Pringle because I only knew him as Paul Bearer.
Right.
But it was Buck who taught me to go back in time and look at Percy Pringle III working in Dallas and Mid-South and Memphis. when he had the missing link, he had Rick Root. Well, that was in Florida. But yeah, it was. I would not know who Percy Pringle was if not for Buck Ringgold, because I had to do that deep dive. It's like, holy shit, this guy managed like everybody.
Well, in fact, the first time I saw Paul Bearer when he was in the WWF, I said, "Oh my God, that's Percy Pringle. Why did he die so horrible?" But I mean, he was perfect as the Undertaker's manager. But yeah, I remember him when he was Percy Pringle.
He was a licensed mortician, so yeah.
Yeah.
Cap, I'm currently getting the shit rocked out of me and my fantasy team.
Yeah, that'll happen on opening day, but you just got to trust the process. So, moving to more current baseball, Buck. I actually, Maddie and I hung out this weekend, and you got to actually watch this gentleman, and we were friends with the late Wild Bill Talbot, who was the groundskeeper for the Oakland Athletics. What was it like growing up and watching Ricky Henderson and seeing him be just the end all be all phenomenal player that he was?
Who are you asking?
You, I was asking you, like, in the '80s, Ricky Henderson being the be all end all he was. We were playing. Maddie and I were hanging out this weekend playing Legends teams, and Ricky Henderson stole like 7 bases in a game. What was it?
Home.
Tried to steal home. He tried to pull a Jackie Robinson. What was it like being a sports writer and watching Ricky Henderson in that era? I mean, he had to just be the most phenomenal player ever.
He might have been arguably the greatest leadoff person in the history of baseball, but it wasn't just the stolen bases. I mean, he hit a bunch of home runs too. In fact, I think
275 career hitter.
Yeah, I think he might have the record for most leadoff homers in Major League history. So people forget that he was a very good home run hitter and good power hitter too. They focus on stolen bases and speed and all that, but he had the total package as far as I'm concerned. And
defensively, I mean,
absolutely. No doubt. And I think
6 hits, no runs. Fuck you, White Sox.
I mean, hey, Dylan Cease is putting on a damn performance.
That's a good comparison. Someone just mentioned Tim Raines with the Expos.
Yeah, David, our what I call raw balls cleanup hitter.
Yeah.
Tim, I mean, and I know Raines went on to play for the White Sox, ironically, but yeah, if Raines was playing for a big market, and of course Ricky was, Oakland was a small market team, but if Raines was playing,
he was still when Charles Finley was the owner, correct?
A lot more recognition than he's gotten it, in history. He seems to be largely forgotten, but I think part of it was he played in Canada and he was overshadowed by Ricky Henderson.
Well, Ricky was still with the A's when Charles Finley was the owner, correct?
Right. But Finley had he sold the team when Ricky was still a young player.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember Finley. He owned the A's and he introduced the orange balls and the bonuses for mustaches and
yes, very eccentric. I mean, in fact,
I would set a bonus if you grew out a sexy mustache.
1970s A's. That I haven't read cover to cover yet. I've just got started a couple chapters and put it aside. But I want to pick that book up again. But yeah, it seems to be a compelling read. And really, the players they hated Finley. They really hated Finley because he was pretty much a classic tightwad owner. And that's one of the reasons
he was a Charles Comiskey.
That's one of the reasons, they grew out the mustaches because they want to get that money, because he was going to pay like $200, $300 if he first grew mustaches. So that's why they did it. And that became a trademark for those amazing people.
Oh, Cap.
What?
Devin just updated me. Is it William or Wilson Contreras? Wilson Contreras is getting an MRI done on his knee on Monday, for he took a ball to the knee at an at-bat.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
Yikes.
him and Giovanni Gallegos.
Gallegos is hurt?
Gallegos.
Yeah, he has a back injury, but saying as a tweak, he might be able to avoid stint on the injured list because we have an off day on Friday. So he might not miss any more additional time.
So Gallegos day to day. We don't know about Contreras.
Yeah, Contreras might be out.
What was that, Buck?
Wilson Contreras.
Yeah.
He just signed with the Cardinals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's this kid's team.
Okay. Well, I got to ask you, you live in Denver, so what's kind of the buzz about the Rockies?
Nothing. We are dog shit.
They are the WKRP of the major leagues.
The only buzz that come out of the Colorado Rockies is how high and drunk the fans are when they leave the stadium.
Yep.
Speaking on that point, didn't you hear Dick Monfort's comments before the year? They said they could be a 500 team.
I did hear that, and I was like,
it's probably
what the fuck?
Like
that
Brendan Rodgers he's probably going to be out for the year.
Haas, maybe to get into the Rockies and to back up Tree's point here, the Colorado Rockies looks like the Brian Abreu is coming in for the Astros as a relief pitcher.
So I have a bone to pick with pitching gloves.
Okay.
Can't be gray, can't be black because you can hide color of substance.
Yeah.
But Brian Wilson got fined for wearing colorful cleats, yet these pitchers are coming out with neon colored gloves. How is the cleats a distraction, but the glove isn't?
I don't know.
I think that comes down to Manfred being arguably and Haas. I want to hear your comments on this. I think Manfred is the worst commissioner in the history of Major League Baseball since Kennesaw Landis.
Oh,
he actually makes all of us miss Bud Selig. I don't think anyone.
Yes, that's exactly what I've said. I've said please give me Bud Selig.
Give me Bud Selig.
Fuck this
yes. And I didn't like Bud Selig either, but at least Bud Selig, he cared more about the game than Manfred does.
Well, Manfred don't give two fucking shits about anything.
Oh. He wants to gimmick it up, and I'm like, that's not the point of baseball. But okay.
On that note, what are your thoughts on the new rules, like the bigger bases and the no shifts in the pitch clock? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't mind the bases and the shifts, but I love the pitch clock because the game has got to be sped up.
Yeah,
it was a huge success in the minor leagues. So I'm willing to
The shift, I could really I liked the shift because if you can't hit to the opposite side of the field, that's your fucking problem.
Exactly.
As far as I'm kind of 50-50, but I love the pitch clock because the game has got to be sped up.
Yeah.
The NFL is getting games done so much sooner, and there's more going on.
Right.
And baseball is notorious for taking their time to the point.
Yeah.
Of making it insufferable at symphonic and operatic levels. You've got to speed the game up.
Exactly.
Playoff baseball has that appeal of the tension. But if it's a random game in July, it just gets kind of
putting in work.
Now, I don't like the runner at second base start extra innings.
I hate that.
I hate that shit too.
As someone that
play 20 innings to decide a winner, play it, Don't put a runner at second base start an inning.
I'm going to be honest. I'd rather have ties than a runner on second base.
Yes.
Play 3 or 4 innings. If you don't get anything, call it a draw, and then just do that. The problem is it goes against the whole idea of tradition, which baseball has always been about. You want to talk about a ghost runner on second base. You don't want to use technology to help out the strike zone. Okay.
Yeah, let's take a look at this real quick while it's up on screen. Dylan Cease has 8 strikeouts, gave up 1 hit off of 63 pitches.
Yeah, he is pitching his ass off.
And no run support though. No run support.
Not from either team.
No.
Something I've had you on many shows, Buck, and something we've never got around to. that I want to ask you about because you've watched baseball encyclopedically for the last 40 years. The 2004 World Series, the Mad Bum performance in that postseason in that World Series.
2014 for the Giants.
Yeah, for the Giants. Mad Bum in 2014 for the Giants.
Yeah, against the Royals. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into some Royal stories later because we got we got some common ground on the Royals. But do you think that is going to stand as the penultimate postseason pitching performance of our era, Mad Bum, in that postseason? Because
I agree. He was like
I've never seen anything like it. He was unhittable.
The closest one I can think is Andrew Miller in
Giants that World Series.
Yeah.
And, well, what'd you say, Tree?
The closest one I can think of, the comp is Andrew Miller in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew Miller in 2016 was an animal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Andrew Miller had those flashes like throughout his career. Like in the playoffs, he is unhittable.
And we go to the top of the sixth. Yeah, Miller was phenomenal. I have to ask you to share this story with us, Buck, because you're here with us, and I was hanging out with Matthew this weekend, and I didn't get to show him we were just about to watch it, but something came up. We were about to watch the Pine Tar incident with George Brett.
Yeah.
But you have an interesting story about George Brett that you learned from one Happy Tree. So without
In relation to urinating tree?
no Happy, I'm gonna let Buck tell the story. I know Buck is not one for profanity, but there is a very interesting story that Buck has about George Brett that he got from a sports editor before I started working under Buck. So would you please tell us that George Brett story because it is priceless?
Well, the guy Happy Tree, we call it. His real name is Steve Cameron, and he used to be a beat writer for the Royals for the Kansas City Star for several years, and that's how he got to know George Brett. In fact, he did a book on George Brett. Well, we called him Happy Tree because he looked exactly like Bob Ross, the painter guy. He looked exactly like Bob Ross. He painted the happy trees, so we called him Happy Tree. He was a dead ringer for Bob Ross. So
yes, he was. I met him once.
Yeah. So and he had this unique way of talking, and he would always be smoking on a cigar. And he'd always talk between puffs,
like George Burns. He would time his act with the cigar.
Yes. So one night they were on the road. The Royals were on the road, and he was hanging out drinking with George Brett, and George Brett was just kind of boasting about his, what shall we say, exploits.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that, the exploits.
I've had sex with a number of different women in my lifetime.
God damn it!
Always got to boast about that stuff, man. Notch on the belts.
Continue. I've had sex with many women. So you're sitting there with Happy Tree talking about sexual exploits.
Yes. He told me.
I found it stupid.
Yes. Buck, did I ever tell you about the time I was hanging out with George Brett? We're in a bar one night. You go on and on about what George Brett did. Yeah.
Wow. I think that's the farthest hit we've seen in this game.
No, there was one that went all the way to the wall.
There was one to the wall.
There were a couple that went foul that would have been home runs.
Oh yeah, no, I was about to say there was that one that went like slightly right that would have been a home run.
Yep.
Go ahead, Buck.
No, that's pretty much the extent of the story right there. I mean, Steve Cameron would tell all these George Brett stories about his, what he did on and off the field, and yeah, he was a legend in more ways than one.
No, it was the curveball. That was the story.
Yeah,
that I was talking about.
Yeah.
So what was the story with
that was not
George Brett?
That was not in the George Brett book, by the way. Those were not mentioned in his book on George Brett.
Right. But yeah, that's the story I was wanting. The story about George Brett and the curveball.
Right.
That was the story I was wanting.
Oh yeah. Steve, let me tell you the story about this at bat that I had in the bottom of the ninth. I came up. I thought the pitcher was going to throw me a fastball. Tie game. Runner at third base. All I had to do was just deliver a base hit, win the game. And he stepped up and threw me a freaking curveball. So I went to the dugout and just threw my bats all over the dugout.
So Cease, holy shit, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Cease is still pitching a shutout. So I do have to tell a little bit of a story on you, Buck, because I've known you since I was in college. I looked up to you. I was your apprentice. We traveled all across eastern Oklahoma, but I got to tell a tale on you. The only time in my life I have ever had the police called on myself was due to this man. It was 2008, Texas Tech and Texas.
The Michael Crabtree game.
So we're sitting in my apartment in Fort Smith, Arkansas. I had like the 3 TV set up, watching. Haas and I would hang out and watch college football all day. And we get to the main event of the night. It's Texas Tech and Texas. Crabtree makes the big catch that everybody knows about.
Yeah,
you've seen it.
This guy him drafted so high.
Exactly.
Gets away from the defender at the 5-yard line, goes in the end zone, walk-off touchdown, ball game. Tech wins.
Yep. Buck stands up and starts screaming like a banshee. Suck it, Texas! Suck it, Texas! Suck it, Texas! Suck it, Texas! He is jumping up and down and his flips just going fucking batshit. 5 minutes later, I get a knock on my door from the landlords and the Fort Smith police, wanting to know what is going wrong in my home. and I tell, and Buck, as my witness, I was like, hey, it's all right. It's cool. My buddy just is an Oklahoma fan and Texas just got their ass whipped. It's okay. It's cool. Everything's so they backed off and everything was fine. But to this day, the only time I've ever gotten the police called on me in 36 years was because Texas Tech and Michael Crabtree.
Michael Crabtree. Yes, Michael Crabtree.
Michael goddamn Crabtree.
You absolutely lost your goddamn mind that night. And I love it because I got a great story out of it. But and to this day, whenever I've told the Susans about that story, they're like, no, Buck didn't do that.
Crabtree.
Crabtree's given Denver some fucking problems. Look back to Aqib Talib.
Didn't he cause Mike, our biofather, to put a hole in a wall?
I don't know, but I do know he caused Aqib Talib to snatch his chain twice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Big fights.
That chain. Fuck your grandmama.
That was a thing.
Charity, man. Aqib Talib versus Michael Crabtree in a boxing match.
Hey,
that should have happened.
Hey, are they still on Twitter?
I don't know.
Can I pay for this?
We got these like creator clashes and Le'Veon Bell and Frank Gore being boxers. Put those two motherfuckers in an octagon.
Yeah, what about Frank Gore being a boxer? That shit is crazy.
I know AP fought Le'Veon. I remember
that was Le'Veon's last fight, was AP?
You're kidding me.
No, they did fight last fall.
Is Frank Gore still fighting?
I have no idea.
He ain't still
fighting.
Joining that boxing league.
Lord. I actually have to look this up real quick because I would love to know if Frank Gore is still taking people's heads off.
Oh, he is.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Hoshimer, like, was it 2003, 2004? Frank Gore was the understudy to Willis McGahee at Miami.
At Florida, yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Wait, Miami, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, it was Miami.
Sorry.
Willis McGahee was the heir apparent to, or Frank Gore was the heir apparent to Willis McGahee.
Yep.
What are we
Gore only
watching
won that
here?
low in the draft because of injuries.
Well, McGahee, he had that injury in the championship
Torn
game.
ACL. I was shocked
Yeah.
that picked first round that year.
Yeah,
I mean,
That
it
was
worked out,
gruesome.
but I mean, to his credit, I mean, he had a very solid NFL career. He bounced
Very
back in a
good.
big way, after that injury.
Unfortunately, it doesn't happen like that. Like Marcus Lattimore, remember him?
Yeah.
Great running
Marcus
back, and then
Lattimore.
the knee injury killed him.
If
I
that
mean,
wasn't
same
for
thing
that,
with No-Show
he would've
Moreno,
been a
too.
star in the
Well,
NFL.
Moreno at least was a first round pick. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call on Marcus Lattimore.
So, as we're top of the seventh, one out. It's still 0-0. I'm actually kind of surprised here. I thought Houston was going to absolutely wax my socks here.
Cease has been making sure of that.
Cease
That's the
is,
beauty of
he was
baseball.
a
You
Cy
never know
Young
sometimes.
nominee.
I
You
still don't trust him.
You
I
underestimate
still
Cease.
don't trust him.
He was what, third in Cy Young voting last year?
In the American League, I think he was actually runner-up.
Yeah, I mean, nobody was beating Verlander last year.
No. Nobody was beating
To
Verlander.
reiterate what we were talking about, it was Le'Veon that fought AP, not Gore.
Well, Le'Veon, we got a base runner. Le'Veon is a whole different story.
He knocked out AP.
I still get pissed about Le'Veon, man. That dude had a contract extension from the Steelers in hand. And the Steelers aren't one like to cut guys after 1 year. He would have been there for at least 3 or 4.
Oh, yeah.
He lost a lot of money playing that game. Like, it was a stunt.
So going to the NFL this year, we were discussing this with Grossi a little bit earlier. Just curious to get because Tree, Grossi kind of went long. We kind of skimmed over it, but I want to get both.
You're good, man.
Well, no, I want to get both year-end Bucks takes on this since you're our guest. The biggest story of the offseason is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Both of you guys have been through many an NFL. Oh!
The fumble!
Both of you guys have been through many an NFL offseason. And I'll start with Tree here with Rodgers. What the fuck is going on? This is like a goddamn Naked Gun Police Academy thing with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, at some point,
He's been holding Green Bay hostage for the last few years.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it's been the last 3 years that this shit's been going
Something
on.
like that. It's like Brett Favre, you think about it.
And
Remember,
Robert
the
gets
last
a
few years
walk.
before Favre left, is that he was held hostage. Bases are loaded for.
Wow. They walked him?
come on, busted. No, he got hit. He got hit.
Well,
Oh.
I mean, it is Hector Neris. So Hector Neris was a gas can in Philadelphia. He had a really good year last year, but still that reputation.
So bases loaded, one out.
Oh, that was just
This
coming
is
in
the
on
chance
him.
right here. That's their opportunity right here.
See, the problem is I'm good friends with everybody on this screen, but no one has ever seen me when I get super tense and pissed when the White Sox fuck up. And I am very prone to.
So what happens if they ground into a double play here?
I'm going to take this pyramid of beer cans that is sitting to the left of my screen, and I'm going to toss them across my office because you do not fuck this shit up. just fucking get a goddamn hit.
Oh, dude, when you're a Pirates fan, you are used to runners not scoring and scoring. That is a classic pastime.
I think there
Okay,
was
good take. Good take.
There was one season I watched the Red Sox, and I think they led the MLB in runners left in scoring position with like 87.
Yep.
Vaughn, the heir apparent to Jose Abreu, he's not there just yet.
A lot of
young,
things. Jose Abreu playing for the Astros. That's just weird.
It is, but I mean, he is an upgrade over Gurriel.
True.
Plus, I think White Sox didn't upgrade him because, I mean, if the profits are right, I think the White Sox lost, I think, the third most money out of anyone in baseball last year.
Yep, that's true.
Ridiculous. Like, I know the Mets and Padres are up there because they're throwing
money.
It now.
It's very small, but it's there.
Come on, you chicken shit son of a bitch. God damn it.
Here we go.
Ah! It's hanging on my wall. For the love of God, Andrew Vaughn.
I ain't spoiling anything. I think I'm a little ahead of you, but I'm not going to do anything for the sake of the content.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Always got to be in the favor of the content. You always have to think forward.
Content is everything.
You can turn it into a YouTube short.
We do need to capitalize on that.
Well, the one you did with 5 points where the Mets blew that 6-run lead in the ninth inning, that was beautiful.
Oh, this is sadness. Look at this bald man's face.
Oh, dude, it was miserable.
Fuck!
So Tree.
High fastball inside.
How long did it take you, and how much money did you actually spend on that Whopper commercial?
Like a couple hours and $20.
Oh, okay.
I bought like
Whopper.
As I said, there's like a Burger King like 15 minutes away, so I just drive there.
Yeah,
I got an Impossible Whopper, a single, and a double Whopper, and a side of fries.
So, what was it like putting your manhood into a Whopper?
I thought it'd be funny. I mean, I didn't actually do it. It's just like I thought.
Oh, dude, no, that I was in stitches watching that for the first time because I think I was watching that clickbait live as it was going, and I was like, "Wait, I didn't hear about this lost bet," and then I see, and I was crying, laughing that hard.
Oh my
I just
God.
felt like it was just so like out there. It's just you had to do it.
Well, I mean, you lost the bet, but at the same time, you performed phenomenally, and it was just the 3 seconds of you doing to that Whopper with your tree.
Oh Lord.
Treeing a Whopper. That's what I call it from now on. With you treeing a Whopper. Oh!
Cap, I'm sorry.
God damn it.
I expected a little more of a reaction, but I mean, those were some good pitches. Neris got out of that jam.
He did it. I gotta hand it to the schmuck. He did it.
I pointed this out earlier. In modern baseball, does Eloy Jimenez have the weirdest batting stance?
100%.
Yes.
No, I mean he doesn't hold a candle to Hunter Pence back in the day.
Hunter Pence.
No, in modern.
Technically, Hunter Pence was still modern, but.
Buck, what are your thoughts? Eloy Jimenez batting stance.
Well, he's no Julio Franco. Remember his batting?
When I was growing up and watching baseball, we had Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz, and my boy Kevin Youkilis.
Kevin Youkilis, also known as the weirdest stance in baseball.
No, I called it the samurai.
Yes. Yes.
So to touch on a bad memory while we're in a commercial break here, Haas. Game 6, World Series 2011.
Oh, no. Oh no. Oh.
I was listening to that game on the radio. I was still a Ranger fan at that point. Take us through what was going through your mind as that happened in that particular instance, because you tell that story so well, far better than I was so drunk and high that I was throwing shit out my front room window. I was pissed. I was on my patio. I had the game on the radio. I was drinking beer and I was chucking cans into the swimming pool. I was so fucking pissed that I could not see straight. But I know Buck is a teetotaler, so Buck has a far better grasp of it than I do. So, Buck, game 6, what happened?
I mean, when you mentioned that just a few seconds ago, you notice how I cringed when you mentioned game 6. It's just, I just, to this day, I'm just stunned. It still stuns me how they blew not only that lead in the bottom of the ninth, but they had a 3-run lead in extra innings. They blew that one too. It was just
3-run homer by, I think, who was that, Napoli or Hamilton? I think it was Hamilton.
It was Hamilton.
Yeah. My question is this, and I've never understood this.
David Freese is
go ahead, Tree. Go ahead.
Freese is a bad word to me. He's
that's David Freese. But my question is, I've never understood this. Why did Ron Washington keep Nelson Cruz in right field? You think you would put him out for a defensive substitute?
What he should have done was make Cruz take 2 steps back. Cruz is playing too shallow. I
don't know if they expected
Cruz helped
Freese
get
to go
the Rangers back to the World Series. He had a phenomenal ALCS that year. He was ALCS MVP, and he had a great year. So, I mean, people, it's like Bill Buckner. People kind of blame the World Series on Nelson Cruz. I don't blame it on Nelson Cruz. It was just a confluence of things.
He shouldn't have been in that spot, though. That's the problem. He was never known for his defensive prowess. He was always known for his bat, which is why he was really good for the Rangers.
He's still out there.
I feel like he should have had a defensive substitute just so you could get more range.
Yeah.
I do agree with Tree there because I was a big Rangers fan at that point too, And I knew that Nelson Cruz should not be out in the field whenever you've got better fielders.
Continue, though.
Well, I mean, when the walk-off homer happened, I was in stunned silence for at least half. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. I was just frozen.
I was pissed.
I was just frozen. I was too frozen to do anything. I mean, I would have thrown things around too, but I just sat there. I just had a look of disbelief on my face. I was just like, I was in a trance. I was in a trance the rest of the night. They'd turn around and play game 7 the next night, Yeah.
But
at that point, the series was over.
It was almost like game 6 with the Cubs and the Marlins when you had
Bartman
had the Bartman ball.
Yeah.
It was like, even though we have game 7 to go, it's like we've lost this. It's like we're not recovering from this.
Yeah, and the Rangers took an early lead in game 7, but I knew that was premature.
Oh, and Cease hit him.
Oh, he hit him?
1 out.
So
got a runner on first.
So I'm just trying to. The worst night of my life as a sports fan. Nothing else will come close to that. Nothing else.
To game 6 in 2011.
Game 6. Fortunately, I was doing a football game on game 7, so I was kind of focused on the football game. So at least I had that, but I felt worse the night before than I did the night they lost the World Series. But it was just, I knew they was going to lose when they lost game 6. But
something I was telling Matty over the weekend whenever he was hanging out here, back when I was your apprentice, and we would travel to all these different venues in eastern, northern Oklahoma, covering games, and the buffets that would be given to us. I told him about, Sallisaw was like the smorgasbord. It was fried chicken, it was McDonald's, it was pizza,
Yes.
and then we went to it was it Spyro or was it whatever? We got thrown into the opposite side of the field outhouse. Was that Roland? Roland, where we were like, it was
pretty good in Roland too. Yeah,
it was Roland where we were.
Rodriguez's.
Well, yeah, no, that was Spyro. It was
Yeah.
Whenever we went to that whatever place it was where we were thrown into the fucking outhouse. It was literally it was a 2-person outhouse on the opposite side of the field. Podo, Oklahoma. Yes. So we're sitting in there, freezing our nuts off, watching the game. No heat. The door barely shut.
Yeah.
We're freaking freezing our nuts off, and we're trying to watch this game and cover shit. And I'm trying to like take notes while I'm shivering and my teeth are chattering. They're pulling them.
I hate to run, but I've got some things to do. But I do want to mention my website before I get
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I work. It's a company called Scorebook Live. It's a website devoted strictly to high school sports. I am the regional editor. I'm in charge of the sites in Oklahoma, Louisiana, and North Texas. And all the stories are free of charge. No paywalls, no nothing. Just go on to scorebooklive.com. That's a national site. For Oklahoma, it's scorebooklive.com/Oklahoma. Louisiana /Louisiana. Scorebooklive.com/Texas. Also, scorebooklive.com/Arkansas or any state. And just find all the stories on there. Great company, great people. I'm glad I made the move like I did 2 years ago, and it's just been tremendous. So, and Brandon, thank you once again for having me on here. It was a pleasure. To meet you guys. I enjoyed it.
You too.
Thank you.
And we will have you on again soon. Thank you so much for joining us for this cause.
Yes, sir.
We will definitely have you on again. It's a pleasure to work with you again, sir. Again, like you said at the top of the broadcast, great modern technology. The fact that while separated by distance, I still get to hang out and do this with you again. I cannot thank you enough for teaching me everything that you did in my formative years. I owe every single aspect of my, I don't want to say success, but everything that I am, because this man taught me how to talk to people, how to interview, how to conduct myself, how to approach the craft when I was still a young boy in college. Haas, I cannot thank you enough for everything you have given to me over the years. I am forever indebted to you, and it's a pleasure to this day to have you on anything that I'm doing.
We'll definitely have to have Buck back on.
Yeah.
The pleasure is all mine, gentlemen. Yeah, let's do this again.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Take care,
and Buck,
guys.
I just wanted to let you know we're all counting on you.
Thank you so much, Buck.
Brothers.
All right, Aaron. Oh no, is this going to be a Brad Hand incident?
Please do not, for the love of God, tell me this is what's going to happen.
An 83-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball.
Way out of pocket.
Bummer's a damn good left-hander. This is a tough spot that he's inheriting, but I would take Bummer in this spot. He's our absolute best left-hander.
Okay.
The manager made the right call here.
Much velocity at all, does he?
Bummer, again, he's a damn fine pitcher. He's I like Aaron Bummer.
Okay, there's a.
Oh,
He's not the fastest, but that two-seam got
That
something.
two-seamer went up to 96.
I saw Cease cap at 99.
That is a fucking 13-mile-per-hour difference between his fat 4-seam and 2-seam. Wow.
Bummer's a hell of a left-hander. I like him.
He's a
Hell
of a two-seamer.
96 two-seamer.
Back to back, too.
So, Tree, who are your top favorite players, like in all of sports?
Ooh.
Like in each sport.
Ooh, that's a tough call. I mean, Connor McDavid is a special cat, same as McKinnon.
Yes.
In hockey. Football, I mean, you got to go Derrick Henry. I mean, I don't know how long he has left, but I mean, he's
I don't think he has anything left. I think Henry's done.
He's got a little bit of time, but the problem is with the Titans, like once you go around with Derrick Henry, I mean, you have to play him, and it's just, well, I mean, they zone in on him. I meant to say, but it's just like I don't know if he has it anymore, which is a shame.
Do you follow basketball at all?
A little bit, but not much. I don't have a favorite in that sport. Jokic works too.
Yeah, just be safe and just say him.
Yeah, I mean, he's the MVP candidate, so.
Oh, yeah.
These balls, man.
Bases are loaded, one out. For the love of God!
There it is.
There it comes.
There it is.
Cap gets pissed when shit goes south.
Right.
That was an ugly
You live
swing.
in the South. You're always mad at them.
I'm always mad, but when I'm watching my White Sox fuck up, I get, ugh, how do you let this shit happen? One out, ground ball, double play for the love of all that is holy.
Now, Cap, you said that you have a chart for like your pitchers and what their speed, like their average outage is.
Yeah.
What is the average pitch count for Cease? Because he went out at 84.
That's about right. 80 to 85. That's about right for him. Typically, he doesn't go this deep into games.
Ooh, nice.
I'm a little behind you. Ooh, that was sweet.
I think me and Shree might be about the same distance.
I'm actually a lot further ahead than you.
I'm on YouTube TV's ESPN stream.
I'm on cable.
I'm on Sling.
We're all on different services.
It's weird. Like it's weird. Like streaming has a significant delay, and that's why I don't use it for like.
That's what base.
Cover! Fuck!
That's why I don't want to spoil it, because you're like at least 20 seconds behind.
I just saw it.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
How did we get so far apart while we were watching the same thing?
I know. I mean, it's just like cable's like faster. It's weird.
Oh, for the love of God! A minor leaguer would have made that play.
Well, it's a weird bounce.
Oh. Okay, good throw.
That was a good strike.
Now we're not to the point of Cap just overturning the coffee table downstairs and throwing shit through the window. We're not to that point yet.
The seventh Cap. I wouldn't be.
Hey, his team still has a chance of getting runs.
It's only one, so it's only a 1 point. Oh,
I like that belt.
a Houston Astros championship. That's pretty cool. Speaking of, did you see that Miz got the golden belt, and he's planning on giving it to Snoop at Mania?
Of course, Miz would do that. Miz is a schmuck.
Yeah, the whole Snoop lost his belt. Miz got a hold of it. It's like,
Yeah.
Snoop, I'm bringing it to you at Mania.
Yeah, I was about to say I saw the gold title relay. Hasbulla had it.
Hasbulla?
Yeah, Hasbulla Nurmagomedov. Wasn't that his last name?
No, that's fucking Khabib.
I thought he was his brother.
No.
Okay.
Oh. Like Hezbollah apparently like abused a cat or something on camera.
Hezbollah abuses everything.
What?
No, it's like it was on Twitter. It's like it's just some dude with like a high pitched voice, like just like trying to smack a cat, and I'm like, dude, whatever.
I'm not about this.
That is some shit.
I mean, it's all over the earth. Just look up Hezbollah.
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
I love animals too much to.
That's crazy to think.
Grandal has missed some balls tonight.
Well, honestly, that was the catcher's first bad miss. He's been good all game. There you go, out of the inning. It's almost as if a weight was taken off of Cat's shoulders.
Right.
Oh. All right, I got to relieve some ballast. I'll be right back.
Well, while he's out and about, I did make one more donation.
What?
Yes, I just sent it to your Twitter feed, so that should get you to your goal.
Tree.
Do what you gotta do, man. At least I can do. You gotta boast it up. Come on.
You already have.
Whatever.
Oh,
you had a second goal.
God, Tree.
Tree, thank you so much.
I was waiting until you got done. I thought you were going to the bathroom.
I'm an old man. I can't do anything that fast.
Damn it. I was going to leave as a surprise for you.
I can't move that fast. I'm damn near 37 years old.
Dude, I'm 35. Come on.
Thank you, Tree.
I'll be right back. Be quick.
Oh, God damn it. I love
My God. I'm so fucking $1,010 that we have sent to the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Do what you gotta do, Brad.
Thank you, Tree.
Don't worry about it, man.
Thank you, Tom Grassi and the Grassi Posse. Thank you, everybody that's donated. I am so.
And yes,
David. Me and Devin are huge Aussie Open fans. I love Mark Davis too. I've been a huge fan of his since Progress.
I watched Kyle Fletcher before I got my eyes on Mark, and then once they combined as a tag team, it was
Tree, thank you so much, dude.
It's all good, man. Don't worry about it.
Like
I said, it's the least I can do for you boys.
Thank you, and Tom so much.
Don't worry about it, man. You're good.
Holy shit. Well, I was hoping to do this later, but fuck.
No, don't worry. Don't.
We'll leave it up there for a little bit.
No, come on. Put it down.
Well, we'll show that we made over our charity goal.
There you go.
Holy shit. And David also said,
just booted a ground ball.
White Sox.
I tried to go to third and he's out.
Shut up, Devin. White Sox should start selling off now and avoid the rush at the deadline.
Right. He tried to go to third and he got pulled out at the base pass.
David, suck my dick. You try to pull your goddamn Kenny Omega shit on me. We still got a chance, damn it.
I tried to pull that Kenny Omega shit on you.
You succeeded.
That might have been one of my favorite parts is Tom Grassi going, hold on a second.
You cannot say that about Kenny Omega.
That was awesome.
Tree.
I can't wait to have him on for a rest.
Thank you so much, Tree.
Wow.
I cannot thank you enough, my friend. You have never disappointed me. You have always been there whenever I've needed you, and I come to Pittsburgh, I'm buying the drinks, my friend.
Don't worry about it. You're good, man. You're good.
Oh, trust me, I got plenty of vacation days and plenty of money. So
what you're telling me is we are doing Mania in next April.
That's in Philly.
I'm in Pittsburgh. I'm not in Philly.
Well, we can definitely go out a little early.
No, seriously, Tree. I'm making a point. I'm going to get out to Pittsburgh and I'm buying some drinks and some food. Just one night, show me the town. You know, doesn't have any Permanti brothers. I don't want that pig slop.
You can get a couple like okay things there if you like know what you're doing.
I still got to make it out to Pittsburgh to see you. I got to make it to Orlando to see Larry Zbyszko. I got trips I got to make this year, but I'm going to make them. I've made it a point to myself. I'm going to get out to see you and to see Larry Zbyszko because I
get
have
Zbyszko
to.
on the show. That's someone we need on the show.
You know, Larry Zbyszko.
He said, "Come out to Orlando anytime. We'll have lunch. We'll hang out. We'll play golf."
Nice.
Yeah, Larry is. If not for Larry Zbyszko, my last podcast I was on that was just me and John, we wouldn't have gotten to where we were because he was the first guy that took an interest in us and came on and help promote us, like WWE Hall of Famer.
Like Larry Zbyszko's big shit in the wrestling world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like he literally, gave it, cut us so many deals with his pay and would come on. It was phenomenal how well he treated us. And he said he's given up golf, but to this day, I was like, no, I'm going to play 9 holes with you, Larry. We're going out in the course and we're doing it.
He said like you give up golf like he's doing hard drugs or something.
Well, no, he gave it because he said his knees are.
Well, you were talking about Yasmani Grandal being a detriment. I think that saved you.
It's a tie ball game, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, baby!
401 feet. Holy hell.
Throws in.
Right as I was praising the pitcher for throwing a nasty ass changeup.
Hit that shit on a piss rope back to Taiwan, Homer.
Woo. Let's go.
This game just got more interesting.
As Jim Ross would say, business damn sure just picked up.
Yeah, I was about to say, as Tree said, weren't you just complaining that he wasn't a good catcher?
Shut up.
And that's the end of the top of the 8th.
Okay.
Okay, so he bowled about a half dozen pitches. He tied the game up. He's forgiven.
I no longer want a minor league.
Woo. You empty?
8-9-1 coming up for the Stros.
Oh shit! Almost fell.
Oh,
my legs giving out on me.
So I just chatted with Buck. He said he definitely wants to come on again and chat with us for some baseball stories.
For sure.
He said YBH, which in Buck speak means "I love you, boys." He a
home run incoming.
Well, when you know Buck, YBH is his call sign for "You Betcha, Hoss," which means "I'm fucking in."
Hell yeah!
So, yeah, he definitely wants to come back and shoot the shit with us.
Hell yeah! I fucking hate these ads.
Well, it's just part of the game.
Oh, it's because every time there's an ad, it
freezes up and I have to jump back in.
Yep.
Again, Tree's not having issues. He's got cable.
Getting into the NFL because we've got the draft coming up soon. And Grassi said he would be very gracious and join us for our draft preview episode in about a month. Tree, what is the Pittsburgh outlook for the draft? What are they looking to do? Because I'm not sure exactly, because I look at Pittsburgh and I think they've got a lot of holes to fill, but they also have some great pieces. So what's the scuttlebutt on the Steelers in the draft this year?
There are rumors that they want to trade up. The piece I keep hearing about is Joey Porter Jr., which, I mean, you do need a corner, but that's not the piece I want because it just reeks of nepotism.
Yep.
Mainly because, like, his dad was on the coaching staff for a long time. He and Mike Tomlin
was a player
together in high school.
I remember
that's why I think
Porter
it'd be
senior
best to
play
go away.
when I
And
was
feel
in
like you have a
high
bigger issue
school.
with tackle. Oh, Joey Porter, yeah, he was big shit. Like,
Yeah.
Still big shit. He's like your guys' defensive coordinator, isn't he?
no, he was our linebackers coach for a couple
Oh.
years. He's been gone since I think like 18.
Oh, okay. Shit.
He had an unfortunate.
But he was there for like a long time.
Shit! You fucking goddamn mother.
He liked to talk, but he usually backed it up on the field.
Yeah, I loved watching Porter when I was a kid. I remember I was in high school when the Steelers went like 13-3 with Cordell Stewart at quarterback, and they beat the piss out of the Ravens in the divisional round. And then they faced the Patriots. It was Brady's rookie year, or well, his first year as quarterback, and they just screwed the pooch because I literally thought that Steelers defense, nobody was going to beat them. Like they had like 155 sacks in 2001.
Yeah,
like it was just like
Kendrick Bell was really good that year.
Absolutely.
I think I want to say they had Ferrier, and then they had like,
James Ferrier.
Yeah, I don't know if that was his first year as a Steeler or if that was the year after.
What the fuck? Graveman is in?
Kendall Graveman. Ooh, the old Oakland Athletic.
Thank you, Austin.
Runner on first, bottom of the eighth, Mauricio Dubon at the play, huh?
Why is this happening? What is going on here?
And here is my local Patriot fuckboy. Thank you, Austin. Love you, brother.
White Sox are going to lose this game.
Well,
I can see it.
We'll see.
I've seen this too many times.
It's a 1-2 count.
Of course they're going to throw that up right now. Huntry. Astros won 10 straight season openers.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, it could be that. It could be an announcer's jinx. I don't know.
Of course ESPN's going to throw a stat like that.
Of course. They always do that, man. Always.
Leave it to Espen. By the way, Tree, that was actually a phenomenal video that you... Double play! Yes!
Told you.
Don't count your boys out just yet.
That was an announcer's jinx.
Oh, Tree, that was actually a phenomenal video you did back in the day on the decline of ESPN and how they used to be so awesome and just devolved into dog shit.
They've gotten a little better. I mean, their biggest rating show is ESPN with Scott Van Pelt. And the key with that show is they just talk about sports. That's all they need to do. And
Surprise.
That's so different now.
They had a bunch of different experiments. Remember when they had Jamel Hill and Michael Smith on for the Six, and it was just like a really just poor like change, and it just did not work.
Sports Center has not been the same since Stuart Scott.
Yeah, agreed.
Very true. But Van Pelt's pretty good.
Oh, Van Pelt's fantastic.
I would actually even argue going back to the days of Patrick.
Patrick already has his podcast. He's doing all right.
I'm looking, back, decades. It was Sports Center. Was like the show. Like if you were a sports fan, you watched Sports Center for hours and hours. It was on there for like 3-4 hours every day, and you just watched it. And it went from being must see TV to must miss TV.
Well, there are too many options now. That's what you have to consider.
Ow! Suck it, Pena. All right. Top of the ninth.
Whew. Might be coming later, David.
David, you jinx this. I will shove my size 14 up your Canadian ass.
Woof.
Woof.
Sounds violent.
I love Dave. Dave is phenomenal, but he and I have aggressive arguments over certain members of baseball and pro wrestling.
But that's the great thing about Dave is you can have those arguments and he's still fucking great.
Yeah, I love Dave. It's just it's a matter of, shall we say, spinacity. I have to have some spine because I'm not going down to Dave without a fight. So, Tree, while we're on a commercial break here, obviously Big Ben, Captain Fat Fuck, is retired.
Yep.
Is he still stiffing bar tabs?
I have no idea. He has a podcast now, and I don't know if he is. I haven't kept up in that game yet, but hopefully he's kind of matured in that regard. But that was
I doubt
back
it.
in the day. He was notorious for that shit back in the day. Even like shit in the industry, I'd hear stuff in like magazines. He was bad for that.
I liked Big Ben up to a point, and then he just
like went off the rails. Like,
yeah,
he was likable in the beginning, but then like the motorcycle accident happened, and then the rape allegations, and just like this dude's a piece of shit.
What was that thing about him giving up porn?
Well, he had an addiction to alcohol and pornography.
Oh,
like apparently, like I'm guessing his wife may have caught him or something, but still, it's like, I mean, he seemed like it. I mean, he's on the right path. Good for him, but
yeah.
I mean,
that was like, I mean, he probably drank for a while. Remember they had
here we go.
Like Jeff Reed, massive piece of shit. Like he would just like, that dude was like cancer. Like he would just like get drunk every weekend and just like piss on like misdemeanor for public intoxication and urination and just like, dude, what the fuck? He'd punch out seats, towels, and
what did AB hit on his MPH when he was speeding down? Was it MacArthur?
I'm like, McKnight. It was like
McKnight.
And I'm like 85, 90 to 100. And I'm like, dude, how do you do that? Because it's nothing but traffic lights except to like one point where it's like a stretch down the hill. And I'm thinking that's the only way you could.
God damn it! Well, there was that Alabama player that recently got clocked at like 130, 140.
Apparently, defensive lineman from Georgia, Jalen Ramsey, got taken off of the draft boards.
Jalen Carter?
Oh, Carter. That's what it was. My bad.
Well, it was that, and I think he had a really bad pro day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he like stopped doing like 40s or something.
Jesus.
Wow.
Come on, Timmy. Get on, baby.
I feel like for the pro day, when they do like the 40s and anything involving how fast you can go, I feel like someone should be trying to chase them because that's an accurate representation of they're a lot faster if someone's after their ass.
Right.
That element of fear.
You get a big fast boy chasing your ass, you gonna go.
Get an angry German Shepherd.
Oh, easy, Hondo. You damn near hit him.
You're making it in the NFL. Gets bit by Betsy. You fail.
Well, isn't that cute? But it's wrong. You schmuckabus.
I wish everything that didn't involve fucking sexual.
Right.
There you go. Get on
Timmy.
Good take. God, if this thing goes into extra fucking innings, wouldn't that just be appropriate? Ooh, oh, very good, Timmy.
Very good, very nice.
And he walked him.
Somehow you are much further behind us again now, Cap.
All right, I'm gonna refresh.
Right now we got what do you have, Tree?
I am actually looks like I just saw the play happen. So I'm way ahead of you.
Okay.
So I got a man on first, one out, and Robert is up. Robert.
Did he just swing and hit?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, you're about 10, 15 seconds behind me.
Okay.
All right, one out, men
That's
on
why I
first.
don't
and
want to
second.
spoil anything because, like,
I mean, it might help.
You never know.
play.
0-7 with runners in scoring position.
Don't remind me.
Like pirate
That's why this
style,
score
baby.
looks the way that it does.
I'm not
baby.
reminding you. ESPN's reminding you.
That wasn't a bad take. I can't get too pissed there. Andrew Vaughn, you're the heir apparent to Abreu. Come on, prove it.
He looks like Macaulay Culkin if he didn't do drugs.
Huh.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Kind of can't take that.
Probably.
What? 0-2. That was a ball, you blind bastard.
Nah, that hit the zone.
Horse shit. Horse shit and horse cockery.
Huh.
That was a ball. All right. Very good, umpire. Thank you for not fucking us over deliberately.
Except in Indiana.
David, go fuck yourself. He is not Tiny Tim. He didn't tiptoe through the tulips.
I mean, this is a reliever right
all right,
now.
2-2. 2-2.
So, Tree, who is the best pitcher you've ever seen?
Best pitcher I've ever seen. Ooh, that is a tough question. I mean,
Live or
Martinez,
just
late
watching?
90s?
Pedro, yeah.
Since Tree's been watching.
Yes!
That is the first time I've ever heard Cap sound like a character from Tom and Jerry.
It kind of does. I'm not gonna lie. As I said, I don't want to spoil anything because, like,
that's why I wanted to ask the question.
Fucking A, baby!
Was not expecting that though. Shit.
yeah. Well, as I said, I'm a little ahead of you, so I'm trying to like play a poker face. So like,
Poker face.
Right?
That batting stance is atrocious, bro.
It's a weird stance because like he pinches.
He turns
in.
his knee inward.
It's strange.
Devin, look up on our teams who has Andrew Vaughn if they have him.
I dropped him.
Oh wow, good job, Cap.
Double with 2 ribbies.
Well, Cap, I think you're still leading. Let me check the live stats.
Drop! God damn it!
You're leading with 88 total. I have been dropped 2 points, and Casey has been moved up to third under me with 8 points or 70, and I'm at 78. I was at 80.
Casey Lilly.
Yeah.
Our buddy, that's my buddy we met in San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
Matt went from about 4th or 5th place to now 8th with a negative 16.5 change. Ooh.
Good job, Dave.
Atta baby Dave.
I had other needs. All right, so 3-1 lead. Who are we going to bring in as our closer now that? See, now I'm nervous because like who is going to be our closer to start this thing? Because our main closer has cancer. Fuck cancer.
Yeah, he seems like he's doing good in his treatment though, so he could be back.
Oh, he could be, but I don't want to rush him. Let him do what he needs to do. Oh, an opening day win over the defending world champions.
Yep, I don't think I've ever seen you like this.
Because you haven't seen me watch a White Sox game before. I told you this is what you're in for. Man, on second, 2 out. Oh, yeah.
Now, for football tree, who is the best football player you've ever seen?
Ooh, that's a tough call.
Are you doing all time or current?
All time.
All time. Ooh.
Man, I gotta say, TJ Watt is a fucking beast.
Watt's up there. I don't know if I
absolutely love watching that man play football.
I'd probably say Polamalu.
Polamalu?
Yeah.
Troy Polamalu. 2, 3, and 4 up for the Stros. Who is coming in?
I'm a huge Polamalu fan, but if I gotta go with the Steelers player, it's Mean Joe every day of the week.
I've never seen Mean Joe play.
I've never seen him play. Of course, I'm younger than all of you, but out of everything I've seen in history,
have a drink of my Coke, Mean Joe.
But I've seen a lot of games of Mean Joe playing, his highlights, his stats.
Mean Joe was
one of my favorite players of all time. My number one is Ray Lewis, though.
I'm very biased. Mine's Randy Moss.
Randy Moss was a good player.
I would probably say,
huh?
Wasn't Ty Law one of your favorites before Moss?
Oh yeah.
I still gotta say Ronnie Lott or Lawrence Taylor, just absolute brutal. The White Sox are the gold dust of MLB shit. Dave! I will shatter your fucking dreams the next time I get to Toronto. Yours and Twinkle Toe McFingerbang. Coming for you, Dave. You mess with the wrong guy. You got into this league. You're against me now. I'm coming for you, Dave. Don't fuck with the captain. Double steak grilled burritos. Damn, there's a Taco Bell just down the street. I'm almost tempted, but
those burritos are fucking good, but they fuck me up afterwards.
Yeah.
Taco Bell fucks you up afterwards? Like, are we talking like bowel movement wise or just, lethargic?
Lopez is who you guys are throwing out there.
Reynaldo Lopez. Interesting.
Ronaldo
Lopez.
Fucking with me! No!
I had an Eaton trade, if I remember correctly.
No! No! You stupid son of a bitch! What? God! Are you... God damn it.
Here you go. Dave's gonna add to your fire.
Suck it, McKinnon. I'll take your ass in the baseball. Why the fuck are we trotting out Lopez? He's fucking dog shit.
Well, I mean, you have your Don. He does have one out.
I was about to say, yeah, that's pretty efficient.
It's probably an all lefty lineup. That's why you have it. Bregman, Jordan, and
an all righty.
all lefty. Sorry.
So we got lefty against righty. What the fuck are they?
Well, that's
100
not
mile per hour four seamer. That's not too bad.
I like his arm movement. Hard to see.
Four seamer against Jordan. Three and four still.
Silence.
Yeah. There it goes. There, it's happened.
I kind of spoiled it when I said, "Well, that's not good."
Oh,
Dude, you're still leading. Relax.
I don't give two flying fucks. That's a run we shouldn't have even allowed.
442. Damn, he hit that with some
Yeah,
juice.
that was the Robbie Ray home run all over again. Second deck.
Why the fuck is Ronaldo Lope? God damn it!
That Alvarez fellow can hit the ball very far, David said.
Thank you very much, Dave. As if I needed to be reminded.
Cap, I will say, the most dangerous batter is out of the way.
Oh, I keep losing. Oi!
You know, I said that the same day I got married when my mother-in-law died. But we can advance past that. God damn it! Why the fuck did you bring in Lopez?
To be fair, Alvarez is out of the way now.
Abreu, our guy we traded, watch him tie this fucking shit up. God damn it!
Yeah, Abreu is ready to swing. Look at his eye.
Wouldn't it be something if the former White Sox ties this game right now?
Cap would have a... I might have to call the ambulance to make sure Cap's okay.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a wellness check.
Yeah, somebody would be having an aneurysm. It's really all I have to say about that.
Somehow his mic muted, but he's still talking. He's not muted.
I don't know, but
no,
he's not gonna like that.
Oh.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Really butt fumbled that one, buddy.
He couldn't grasp it. Ran out of real estate, in and out of the glove. All right, I'll do some play-by. Do you want me just to do play-by-play since I'm a little ahead of you guys, or do you want me just to keep?
Yeah, I was about to say.
You Tree, I love you. You're awesome.
Oh.
Don't do it. I'll
Don't.
stay in there. All right.
I'm hanging by a thread at this point.
Okay. I figured I'd offer in case you wanted a little spoiler, but in that case, I will leave it be.
I have nothing but my socks. My Raiders suck. I have a chance with my socks.
Oh,
blow it out your
You're
ass.
spinning the Patriots alive like the 15 other teams that tried and failed. Come on.
Jimmy Garoppolo can suck my nuts.
The only way it works is if you have Brady or Belichick.
Still got Devontae.
Still have Devontae. Got Jimmy.
Dad, I didn't ask your opinion.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs got the franchise tag.
Yeah.
Your team's gonna be good. Better than my Broncos.
Yeah, we're gonna be good. Yeah. I think it's the Raiders and the Broncos just doing a salsa dance together in the basement.
This has been a long at bat.
You don't want to go.
He's even turning into a Tom and Jerry character.
Shut up.
Hundo.
God damn it!
Did the Pirates win? I didn't check.
Yes, they did. They won 5-4 over the Reds.
Hell yeah!
So Matty made some money.
No, because the Royals beat the fucking the Royals lost to the Twins.
You bet the Royals over the Twins?
I thought it was going to be an upset.
Jesus Christ, I could have told you that.
Royals have no pitching, brother.
The Royals AA team is miles up the road from me.
They had a chance.
All right. One more out. One more out.
Here's hoping Cap doesn't have a stroke before the game ends.
I told you, boys, you haven't seen me watch the White Sox. You've seen me watch the Raiders. You haven't seen me watch the Sox.
Didn't not Foolish Baseball, there was another channel that did a video on Kyle Tucker.
I gotta say, minus that home run, Lopez hasn't himself. I'm not sure if I want him as the closer, but
Give it time.
Give it time.
Relax.
I've been saying that for 10 years. Ever since Rick Hahn took over. Rick Hahn, I should say, took over. I've been going with the process. I've been playing the system. I've survived through everything from fucking James Shields to goddamn Tony La Russa. I'm due.
James Shields was good when you guys traded for him, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, they traded for
he was a filler.
Oh, that was.
But he was like the head of our rotation that season in 2016. And
all I
Shields
remember
was
from
like,
that year was that Adam LaRoche retired because they wouldn't let his son in the locker room, and he was like 10.
Wow.
Yep, that's a true story.
That's one way to say fuck you.
I think LaRoche was owed like $15 million. He gave that up. Oh, he made a lot of money in his career, so he probably didn't need it.
This is the second visit. I think they're taking him.
We'll see. Ledmus Diaz is at the plate, so there's a guy that you want Lopez to face.
Asian players. Yoshida, Fujinami, and Kikuchi.
Yeah. No.
Mr. Adamo spent $100.
Yeah, that was.
I thought.
Of course, they flashed that again. Won 10 straight season openers.
Shut up, ESPN.
Yeah, it's not like NFL where as soon as they say something, that team's automatically fucked.
Dev, I know where you live.
You do?
I know close.
He will come September.
I know in and around closely to where you live.
Man,
You shan't not do such.
Colorado,
Drives 30 minutes away from Denver and just starts screaming Devin.
at the mountaintops. Where the fuck are you?
Oh, God
If you love
damn
someone
it.
so much, don't be afraid to scream it off the mountaintops. Devin, I'm gonna beat your ass.
I'll see you in June, you spike-haired little shit.
Yes, you will.
It ain't even Spike, it's Poopy.
I wonder what
He can't help it. That's just natural.
I like the poof.
You do have the poof. I gotta say, Dev has the best hair in the business. I have to work to get this. Dev just rolls out of bed and he's got the best hair.
Yeah,
I don't know how you do it.
goes like this when I get out of bed, and I have one side that's all fucked up. But all it takes is whoop whoop, and it's fixed.
You do have the best hair. I gotta give you that to you, kid. You yeah. Dev definitely has the the best hair on this podcast because he's the one guy that doesn't have to do shit to make his hair be awesome.
Which I am thankful about.
One of these days, I'm just gonna cut a side patch out of it.
And just super glue it to your face.
No, I'm just gonna
I
cut
thought
it
you're gonna
out.
need to fix the patches. Meow.
You son of a bitch!
Miss Diaz, 1-2 count, final strike for the Houston Astros.
Bang that can all you want, you bitches. It ain't happening tonight.
I'm gonna laugh my ass off if they do find it.
Why did a lot of those fans look like they don't want to be there?
Because they don't. Because they are embarrassed by the fact that the Astros cheated to win a World Series.
They're celebrating at that point. Like they're just there for the ceremony.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that guy wearing that hat.
Space City. Never once heard Houston ever be considered Space City.
Was it like Ric Flair, Space Mountain?
Apparently.
Woo! Come on, strike this motherfucker out.
Was that a ball? Oh, I thought that was.
I don't know if
Why do you do that? Shut up, tree.
Sorry.
I love you, but don't.
There it is.
We psyched you.
Yes!
And we have a winner on opening day. And we hit our charity goal thanks to our very special guests, Tom Grossi, Urinating Tree. We cannot thank you enough. You were with us for damn near 3 hours.
Nothing wrong with that, dude.
Honestly, Tree, I've known you for years. I've thanked you many times, but I can never thank you more than I have tonight for helping us do this. We started this show 2 months ago, and we had been talking about wanting to do something like this, and the pieces just sort of fell in place for opening day. And I honestly, bottom of my heart, I cannot thank you enough, Tree. I love you, man. You and Grossi, thank you so much, man. You helped us make something happen that we were thinking, oh, we might raise a couple $100, but you and Grossi helped us.
You and Grossi raised more than a couple $100 between you two.
Nothing wrong with that, dude.
It's.
I said, as I said, I wanted to donate for myself, so don't worry.
Tree, it's. Trust me, you honestly have no idea from the bottom of my heart how much this makes me love you even more than I already did, which is tough to do because you were always there. Anytime I needed you for a show, you were always there. But tonight you delivered in ways that
we can't repay.
we can't repay, Tree. Thank you so much for
You're all good, man.
For being my friend, for being my colleague, for being the awesome human being that we are, that allowed us to raise this amount of money for a charity that we absolutely have a lot of very deep-seated feelings for without going into detail. But brother, you made dreams come true tonight, and you forever have a home here on Raw Ball. We love you, man. I wish I had more words, but I would start crying if I went deeper.
I hear that, man. I understand, brother. Appreciate you. Love you too, man.
Thank you again.
You're the best, Tree.
Don't
Thank
cry,
you so
man. You're good, dude. Don't cry. That's for me on random streams, not you.
We can't thank you enough again, brother. And to Tom Grossi, Buck Ringgold, Urinating Tree, and everybody else who watched, rated, streamed us, shared us. You guys all helped us to raise $1,010 in one night.
When our original goal
Was $250
and was shattered
in an hour.
Was shattered maybe the first 25 minutes of our stream.
Yeah, like we cannot thank you enough. And it doesn't stop here. Please continue to donate, because the more we help out the 988, the more people get helped out in the long run. So on behalf of me and D, the one and one of ones, our captain, urinating tree. I'm so bad with the directions of this. Tom Grossi, Buck Ringgold. We thank all of you. Have a fantastic baseball season. You are somebody's reason to smile. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated.